This is KLZ Denver, The Source, AM/FM, AM 560 and 1220, and now FM 95.3 and 100.7. Online, streaming at 560thesource.com, KLDC Denver, KLDC HD Denver, and KLZ HD Denver. This is the Crawford Broadcasting Company.
106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it. Lady of blessed acceleration, don't fail me now.
It's time for Drive Radio, presented by Colorado Select Auto Care Centers. Whether you need help diagnosing a problem,
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Or just want to learn about all things automotive.
Hey, how exactly does a Positrack radio on the Plymouth work?
They just does. Then you've come to the right place. So start your engines, buckle up, and get ready to ride. Drive Radio starts now on KLZ 560 The Source.
And this is Drive Radio. Welcome to this Saturday edition, because if you're listening on Sunday, it's already happened, but you can sure listen in and let us know what you think. You can ask questions via email. Just go to our website, drive-radio.com, click on the contact us, send us an email, and we'll get you answered. Ray Seidel from Four Seasons with me today. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, it's a Saturday, great Saturday.
It's actually beautiful out.
Yes.
Why are we inside?
Well, we got the business to do.
Yeah, we got to be outside. Anyways, yeah, we do. We have business to do. We got a lot going on today. Next week, being the 4th of July weekend, we will do a replay show. We've got everybody out doing different things for the 4th of July weekend. So if you've got a question, today is the day to call in. Lines are open at the moment, 303-477-5600. Again, 303-477-5600. Few things I need to take care of here real quick right out of the chute. We've got some new sponsors to Drive Radio, and you can find all of our sponsors, all of our member shops, everybody that participates by going to drive-radio.com. The member shops, to make it real easy, you can just type in coloradoselect.com, takes you right to that page of our Drive Radio website where all of our member shops are listed. And when you use those shops, please be sure to tell them you heard them on Drive Radio. And then we've got new sponsors. All of those are listed on the main page of Drive Radio. One in particular that we're doing our best to get on board, because I think this would be a magical fit for us on Drive Radio and for you listening, is a company called Fast Wax. So Fast Wax is a company that, as the name would say, Ray, they sell car care, car detailing, car wash products. And the cool thing about their stuff is it's all aerosol. And someone would say, John, why is that so cool? Well, it makes no mess. It makes easy application. They've got stuff for the interior for cleaning. They've got window care. They've got carpet cleaning. They've got tire shine. And they've got for some of you that live in apartment buildings and don't have access to water, and as we get into some of these, more dry months, I guess I should say, and the water restrictions start, they also have got a no water, so a waterless car wash / wax product.
Really?
And it works. I tried it the other day. It works very, very well, actually.
I'd be interested in that.
It works great. It's got an emulsifier in it where it actually will pull the dirt off the paint. You wipe it off. It leaves a wax film that you then buff off with a terry cloth towel when you're done, or one of the microfiber towels when you're done, and you've got a nice shiny finish, and away you go. No water necessary. Pretty slick.
Yes, that would be slick.
So definitely. A lot of you guys that are traveling, you're out on the road, you're doing car shows, you may not have water around. It's a fantastic, product for those particular situations. Or as I said earlier, if you live in an area where you just don't have access to water, you live in an apartment building, you park in an underground parking garage, things along those lines, it's great for that. But even for the rest of you car guys that love it, you know what? They've got everything you need. You can order it all online. It's fastwax.com. It's a piece of cake. We're going to do some things in the future, hopefully, which I think we'll get put together. We'll have some promos. You'll be able to listen in, get some free product. We'll have some specials, some codes that you can plug into their website to give you some Drive Radio discounts. But in the meantime, if you want to know more about the product, just go to fastwax.com. And you know what? If you do an inquiry there, let them know you heard them on Drive Radio.
Right. Yeah. Said that would put us outside because we could be doing demonstrations outside.
Very cool. No, you're right, Ray. Very cool.
Yes,
They
that
also
is
have got,
cool.
just as a side note too, they've also got a WD-40, basically a penetrating oil
Okay.
type product. And this is, I don't know much about this, but they also have some home products, stuff you can use on furniture and, just interior care. I got to learn more about that because I don't know much about that. I've concentrated mainly on their car care products, but great company. I've learned a lot about them here recently. They're nationwide. You can find them all over the place. You can buy them in a lot of the stores that are out there, but the best thing to do is just go to fastwax.com, order it, and they send it right to you. So, without further ado, Ray, phones 303-477-5600. Question of the day. Question of the day. We tried to figure out how we were going to word this earlier. What's the fastest you've ever been in a vehicle, whether ticketed or not? I don't care whether you got a ticket, whether you didn't get a ticket. The question is, how fast have you been in a street vehicle, not on a racetrack, in a street vehicle? Let us know. Give us the story, and we want to know why. That's Mindy's question, actually. Mindy says, I'm just nosy. I want to know why. So that's fine. We'll go with that. So what's the fastest you've ever been? And why? Phones are open, 303-477-5600. Larry's got a great story that I think we'll have him share here in just a little bit. Also coming up at 11 o'clock, got a special announcement. There's a group of older gentlemen, my dad being one of them, that are putting together a dirt racetrack, dirt drag strip in Byers.
Dirt dragster.
Dirt drags, like the old days. Back in the old days when they didn't have asphalt,
Yes.
they did dirt quarter miles. This is going to be an eighth mile. We'll find out at 11 o'clock more details, how it's going to work, what cars classify, but it's supposed to be really, Ray, meant just to be a lot of fun for, a lot of individuals. And it's not for souped up vehicles. It's really meant for, kind of older cars, stock cars, 79 and older. It should be a lot of fun. So we'll learn more about that at 11.
Yes, that's cool.
So that'll be a lot of fun.
Great.
Robert, you're up next. What's going on, sir?
I'd like to know how you tell how old an antifreeze is I was told by checking it with a voltmeter, and it's supposed to be under what?
Milliamps,
Yeah.
and it should be under, Ray,
I thought it was 0.5 milliamps.
I was going to say half a milliamp.
500 milliamps or around there.
If it starts to get over 500, it needs replaced.
Okay, I thought it was supposed to be like 0.3 or something like that, below that.
That would make sense. Yeah, like I say, if you get over 500, you're too high. So yeah, that would make sense.
Is there any other way to tell how old antifreeze is?
There's no way to tell how old antifreeze is. That, and you need to use the pH strips also so you can check your pH. So
pH.
electrolysis and the pH both.
The main one that I found with old antifreeze is smell.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
No?
yeah.
If it smells
starts to
bad,
smell
it's bad. It oxidizes, which gets a foul odor.
Okay, one other question.
Sure, go ahead.
Have you ever used any of that VR12 that's supposed to help it?
I have never used the VR12. Not familiar with the product at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, my belief on that is actually drain the antifreeze out and put new antifreeze in. We really don't need any additives in to make it last longer. And just put the
good stuff in.
Yeah, put the stuff that's supposed to be in there. And don't worry about it.
And I just looked it up just to make sure that Ray and I were correct, which we were. The ideal is 300, so 0.300 volts. If you get above that, that's when you start looking at, okay, and I think what the rule of thumb we've used in the shops for the years is once you get above 500, you really need to be replaced, and it's getting old at that point. Your pH is going to be off. It's going to start smelling, to Ray's point.
Yeah. And the other thing is if it's getting, to that point, there could be other things in the vehicle that are bad, like ground circuits, ground straps, stuff like that, alternators, where it's actually putting that in more than it should be. So that's another thing you want to check.
Do you have Robert, do you have any idea of how old it is? Is this a car you just got, or what's the scoop?
No, I'm over 65, and I changed it to go to the Rubicon. I think when it was 03, and I checked it this morning, and it says 0.24, and I thought, wow.
Well, what do you do with the vehicle? Does it get stored inside mostly?
Yeah, inside.
That would make sense. Yeah, if it's out of the elements, stored inside.
200 miles a year?
Yeah, in that case, that stuff will last a very long time because you don't have the temperature fluctuations. You're not adding condensation to it. In that case, they can go multiple years if the car's stored inside of a nice climate-controlled area.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
You're very
Appreciate it.
welcome, Robert. Appreciate it. Appreciate you calling. Yeah, kind of seeing, I had lots of emails this past week, Ray, on oil changes on cars like that. And my recommendation still is annually.
Yeah.
Even if you're doing 1,000 miles a year, just change it annually. You could probably go, if it's stored inside and the climate is the same, you could probably go every other year with full synthetic, but rule of thumb is every year.
Yeah, it's usually so you can get everything checked, get tires filled up.
Exactly. You want to get everything else anyways.
Right, get the vehicle moving, get everything lubricated up. So yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, we like to say once a year.
But to Robert's point a moment ago, when you've got vehicles that are stored inside, climate controlled, you will see things last way longer than they will when they set out in the elements.
Definitely.
Just the way, because the temperature stays pretty much the same all the time. That's really what they do in a museum. Okay, think about it that way. That's why museums are climate controlled. Cars go in there and they will last a really, really long time.
Yeah.
Think of it that way.
Definitely.
So we got a line open 303-477-5600. Jim, you are next in Littleton. What's going on, Jim?
Good morning. I have a 2012 FJ Cruiser with 10,000 miles.
Okay.
I'm about ready to tow a U-Haul trailer. Weighs 1,900 pounds. I'm going to put about 1,000 pounds in the trailer to Arizona.
Okay.
Do you see any problems? Overheating, underheating?
No, those are equipped where you can, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you'd have to get the manual out, but I think they've got a towing capacity in the mid 3,000 range. I want to say 3,500 or so. You're underneath that. You should be fine.
Yeah, I think the total is like 4,500.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. You'd be fine.
Now, when they installed the towing package at the factory, did they do anything special to the cooling system to compensate for towing?
No,
No, I don't think so.
I don't think they did. No. Typically what they do on the towing vehicles is they may have done a little bit heavier transmission cooler. Of course, it's going to have the tow hitch with all of your, wiring and such in it. And typically that's about all they do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes it might have a transmission cooler.
Correct. It's not like the old days where it's not like the old days where you'd order a truck and it would come with a much larger radiator because it had a tow package on it. They don't do that anymore.
Yeah. Well, I was only 120 in Phoenix the other day, so what the...
Yeah, isn't that a fact? I saw an article the other day, somebody sent me about that, and I'm thinking, I couldn't do it. So more power to you. Those folks that live down there, hey, have fun, enjoy.
That's why we have air conditioning.
There you go. That's it.
Okay, thanks.
Have fun, Jim.
Bye.
Be safe on your trip. We got lines open, 303-477-5600. The question we're asking, what's the fastest you've ever been? Did you get a ticket or not? And then why? Dale, you're next. Hello, Dale.
Hey, how you guys?
We're doing great, Dale. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. I had a couple comments. That racetrack, that's the old dog track, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I talked to that guy a couple of years ago. I was hauling water out of there. He was trying to make money. For that October, it would have been October a year ago, last October. But he's had trouble getting money to get it up. I just been by it once, and I didn't realize it was going to be for anybody and everybody. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, stay tuned. Listen, tune in at 11, and we'll tell you more about it. So, got family members involved in that, and we'll keep you posted at 11 o'clock.
Great, yeah, it's a 3/8, so it's pretty good size.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I was going to comment on the speed. I was in the back seat of the car at the time. We were acting like idiots, but Old Quebec along the Arsenal.
Okay.
This was in 1981. We were doing 135 mile an hour in a Le Mans, 70 Le Mans that had 140 on the Speedo.
Wow.
And it was, all we were doing was going from a party to get to 7-Eleven, and we were over 100 mile an hour 3 different times in residential areas. And,
That's crazy. And by the way, anybody listening, we don't advocate this.
Yes.
We're not advocating, and I'm sure Dale would say the same thing today. Dale, you're not advocating that, are you?
Absolutely not. That was the most retarded thing I've ever done.
That's good. Good story, Dale. What do you drive today, Dale?
2000 Chevy 3500.
Awesome. Yeah, I love driving trucks.
And it's fast enough to get me in trouble.
Yep, that's a fact. No, they run well. Yeah, good point. Dale, appreciate the phone call. Stay tuned at 11. We'll have more information on the dirt racetrack out there in Byers, so stay tuned. Let's take one more call before we go to our next break. Brody is next. Brody, welcome.
Hi, I was listening to the radio station, fairly new listener.
Great.
And
Appreciate
I like the show from what I've heard so far.
Thank you, Brody. Appreciate that.
I was just calling because one time I was driving back from Denver and both of my friends were asleep. It was about 3 in the morning and I was just tired of driving. And so I got up to 140 miles an hour on I-25.
Wow.
And I'll probably never go that fast again because I was scared to go.
That's fast. I mean, that's fast. I mean, the last call, 135 down Quebec is pretty fast, but even 140 on I-25 is pretty fast.
Yeah.
It was stupid.
Yeah, well, like I said a minute ago, we're not advocating this, not by any long shot.
Yeah, I wouldn't advocate it either.
Did you get, evidently, you didn't get caught, no tickets. That's just the top.
I did not get caught, no.
That's a good thing. And part of what got me going on this, I was reminded of this morning. And by the way, everybody out there listening, you might want to watch I-70 as you make the corner coming around off of the Colfax Highway 58 area. There's a policeman, I think it's an Arvada cop, that's or Wheat Ridge, I couldn't tell which, that's actually standing on top of one of the overpasses, radaring, and there's 3 additional police officers just to the east of him, where he's actually radaring, radioing, and then they're yanking people over.
Yeah, well, I'm from Washington State, and they do that all the time. They have somebody radaring, and they call you in.
Interesting. Around here, Brody, doesn't happen a whole lot. That's the first time I've seen that in quite some time.
Yeah, well, I've only got pulled over once in Colorado.
Well, stay safe, Brody. Stay safe. We appreciate you listening, by the way. Thanks so much for your patronage, and we appreciate it very, very much.
No, thank you.
Thanks, man. Take care. Have a great afternoon. Let's do this. Norm, hang tight. You got a break question. We got a couple of lines open. 303-477-5600. We'll be right back here on Drive Radio. John Rush, your host. Ray Seidel from Four Seasons. Don't go anywhere because we're coming right back.
You don't need an air-conditioned steering wheel or high-performance supercharger to use Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil. Now just $5.99 a quart at Napa. Mobil 1 offers premium protection for all cars. Premium or not so premium. So give your ride Mobil 1 synthetic just $5.99 a quart, even if it doesn't have the latest technological stuff. That's Napa know-how. General States pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer expires 6/30/16.
It's finally time to admit it. You're not a car guy. Colorado Select will help. You've been avoiding the truth for a long time now, and it can be embarrassing. Colorado Select will help. Even though you don't know the difference between a transfer case and a transmission, you do know when it's time to get your car serviced. At coloradoselect.com, you'll find member shops who believe that it's better to maintain your car than to repair it. Colorado Select is where you will find all of the resources you need to keep your car running like new. coloradoselect.com is the website that'll make any guy feel like a car.
I don't think you can do that today now with everybody moving in, huh?
Owned by top-notch experts that know your car. Don't mess around with the cumbersome national.
What about even the 140 on 25?
Who is working on your car? Cinder Collision Experts is a locally owned auto collision repair facility.
That's okay. I'm thinking here, like
you deserve. They'll help you in dealing with your insurance company and get you back on the road quickly without skimping on quality. Cinder Collision Experts are Ginger's experts in auto.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, how do you get through it?
Today at 303-761-0955, 303-761-0955, or check them out at GingerCollision.com. Be sure to tell them Drive Radio sent you.
The phrase tune-up is a thing of the past on modern vehicles. It's now called maintenance services, and there's no one-size-fits-all for tune-ups. Most often, we have to inspect and use a scan tool to diagnose for tune-ups. Maintenance tune-up intervals are usually identified in the vehicle owner manuals. At Arvada West Auto and Truck, we can help to make sense of what your vehicle needs to keep it running the way it should. Call or stop in at Arvada West Auto and Truck, 11752 West 64th Avenue, just west of Sims, 303-422-1065.
When you work on your car, take a look around. We
find yourself in a tiny garage, tripping over your tools, or in that grease spot under a carport at your apartment, or someplace even worse. You busted your knuckles on the chassis too many times because you can't stop daydreaming about a place with a big garage where you can keep your ride and your tools out of the elements? Call Tom Witzel at Remax Alliance. Tom is a Colorado native with 17 years experience in assisting his clients as they move on to the next stages of their lives. Tom Witzel and his team of real estate professionals are highly experienced with the business and emotional challenges involved in buying and selling real estate. In other words, Tom Witzel isn't in the house selling business. He's in the business of helping people. Call Tom Witzel at 303-808-2206. 303-808-2206 so he can do what he does best and get you into the house and the garage that you can be proud to call home.
Hot air should be coming from your radio, not your car's AC. Call Larry's Automotive and Transmission Repair to make sure your air conditioning is ready to take on the Colorado heat this summer. Larry's Automotive and Transmission is ATRA certified and they have an A+ rating with the BBB. And as a registered Colorado Select member shop, they come highly recommended by John Rush. Tell the guys at Larry's that you heard this ad on KLZ and they'll have their ASA certified master tech give you a complete AC checkup for only $78.87. Leave the hot air to the radio host like John Rush and keep your cool this election season with Larry's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Call Larry's Automotive and Transmission Repair to schedule your $78.87 KLZ listener special appointment right now. 303-427-2108. That's 303-427-2108.
All right, this is John Rush Drive Radio, KLZ 560. Wayside L, Four Seasons is with us today, and calls are lit up. Lines are lit up, I should say. Anytime somebody drops off, call us. We'll get you right on air, 303-477-5600. This came in via email. I'm not able to call in. I'd like to add my experience, but please don't use my name. Imagine that. It says, right out of grad school, I ordered a 67 Plymouth GTX with a 440, 375 horse engine. On the way to the company golf outing in Palm Springs, California, I opened it up, buried the speedometer, which went to 150. I didn't stay there long, for I didn't want to risk damage. The freeway was entirely open, hardly any traffic, at least 4 lanes each way. No, I didn't get a ticket. Just wanted to see what it would do. Buried the Speedo. I've been in some cars where the Speedo got buried, and it took several seconds for it to start moving back the other direction. And I was not the driver. I'm just going to say that right now. I was not the driver. So let's do this. Let's go to Norm. You're next. You've got some break questions. What's going on, Norm?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Nate. I got an 03 Astro that I bought second owner, and I have gone through the rear brake pads, and I have never replaced the fronts, and I'm nearing 160,000.
That's really interesting.
Here's the backstory. I think this was towed. Possibly. Would someone have changed something to tow behind at some point?
No,
it shouldn't be in the brake system.
No, there's nothing really that they could even. There's nothing there that they could really even change. What's weird is so when the vehicle brakes, does it feel normal? Does it stop okay and everything?
I feel like it. Yeah, it stopped fine. But as far as I know, the brake pads are original. I'm gonna do the rears this weekend.
And the fronts are original with that kind of. That's very unusual. The only other thing that, even on that, the e-brake would even have any effect on that, because I believe the e-brake runs off the inside of the rotor itself. So. I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you. I'm sorry. I don't. That's unusual.
Is there a way to proportion it and make it correct where you're more front than back?
What I would do next, if it were me, if in fact those fronts have never been replaced, if it were me, I would put gauges on it and see what your pressures are front to back as you're pressing on the pedal to see what's going on.
Right.
Because you should be going through basically two sets of fronts to one set of rear.
And there shouldn't be a metering or a portioning valve that actually should hold up the pressure going to the rears, and and then so you apply the front first. So that's possible that valve
isn't working
correctly. But usually you get some kind of
you feel that
the back is digging in before the front. It wouldn't be
like in the old days where if you'd put the e-brake on by itself, in some cases even you'd skid around even in the snow and such. And if you've got that much additional
going forward with the way it is?
If it drives okay, no. And, and again, a way to test that, we don't have any snow around right now, but you can get on a dirt road and just slam on the brakes super hard and see what locks up. Does the front lock before the rear? Is the rear locking before the front? If the rear is, in fact, locking up before the front, and it's hard to tell with anti-lock brakes, but you can tell what's going on. If that is, in fact, the case, you need to get it looked at because something's not correct.
Right.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're very welcome, Norm. Appreciate the phone call very much. Line's open, 303-477-5600. Eric, you're next. What's going on, sir?
Hi, thank you for paying my call, Mr. Rush. I have a 1976 Ford F-150. It has a first gear that just goes like maybe 2 miles an hour.
Yep, granny low, we call it.
Yeah. Is it okay to start off in second gear, or would that mess up the transmission?
Nope, you start second. But what that granny gear is made for, especially in those older trucks, where if you had a really heavy load, guys that were pushing snow, things along those lines, or even guys that would go up in the mountains and they do a little four-wheeling and such, that granny gear is what it's meant for. It's meant to just go really, it's a crawl gear where literally you can let the clutch out, not use any gas, and it'll just idle along and do what you want to do.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm messing it up by not using this for whenever I have a truck like this.
Nope, they're not.
Okay,
in fact, it's not a synchronized gear. It's a straight cut gear, which means as you go down into that gear, you have to be almost virtually stopped to get it into that gear anyways.
Okay, make sure I'm not messing it up. Appreciate your time.
You're in good shape. No, appreciate it very much, Eric. Great question, actually. There's not a lot of those left.
There's not a lot of those left. I had to think about that.
There's still an old truck like that with a granny low.
Because, most of them.
I don't know where the granny low came from. I guess because it just didn't go very fast.
Yeah, I guess.
Like granny. I don't know how else to say it. I'm sure that's where the name came from. Because it would just crawl along, it wasn't super fast. Line's open, 303-477-5600. Tell us the fastest you've ever been. Why? And did you actually get a ticket? 303-477-5600. John in Cold Creek, you're up next.
How you doing, guys?
Good.
I got up to 185.
Whoa. Okay.
That's kilometers per hour, though. I was on the Autobahn in Germany, and it was in a diesel, 4-cylinder diesel, so it's about 115 miles an hour.
I was just going to say, what is that, about 120 or so, I was guessing, so 115. All right. Still, that's pretty fast. Now that's legal. You can just drive that, correct?
In that part, yeah. Everybody thinks all of the Autobahn has no speed limit, but there are parts now that do have it. But the part I was on was absolutely legal, that there was no...
Okay, so for those of us that are novices and have never been on the Autobahn, how far are those distances where there's no speed limits, and what do people typically drive? What's the typical speeds?
In the more rural areas, it could go for many miles, maybe up to... The one parts that I've been on, maybe up to 20 miles.
Okay.
And some people, like I had it pegged when I was, and I just had a VW diesel. There are some people that were still blowing by me.
Wow.
So I would guess some of them really might be doing 140 miles an hour. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, absolutely. Now they were the Mercedes and Audis and all that kind of stuff here, but they were moving.
That would be kind of fun, actually. Take a trip over there and just drive that fast, just for the fun of it. It would be. Actually.
Oh, it was.
What were you there for, John?
Work.
Okay, cool. Well, that's a pretty good story. So, 185 kilometers, so 115 miles an hour. So far, though, our Brody at 140 is taking the lead. So somebody's got to come above 140 with him.
Yeah, I've got one other thing. I called him a couple of weeks ago about ball joints on my 98 Jeep Cherokee and asked if there was any special tools or anything needed. And there actually is. I wound up getting just the straight press kit.
Okay.
But for on these Dana 30s, the axle, the ball joint fits in is not flush. So you actually need a taper kit.
Got it.
With it.
Yeah, and like I said, I remember you calling, and the deal with all of us in the shops is, we have such large kits, and we buy a U-joint press, or a press in general that'll do U-joints, ball joints, and so on. They typically are coming with every single thing we need. So I've never had to go out and buy anything additional to the press to actually do those. And I've done tons of those Dana 30s, but I've never had to buy anything extra. So it evidently must be. And so case in point, those of you that are out there renting these, I guess what you're really trying to say, John, is not every one of these that you rent even has everything in it you need. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Right. I just got I said, hey, give me a press kit And they said,
Got it.
there you go.
Got it.
And then when I brought it back, they said, oh, yeah, we have a bigger one with a more selection. And
There you
okay.
go. And those are the ones that most of us in the shop, well, I should say everybody that's got a shop has the bigger kit like that.
Right.
Got it. That makes sense, John. Appreciate that very much. That's a good follow-up. I didn't know that. And frankly, I've never rented never had to go out and rent one, so that's probably why I've never rented one.
Right. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Good update. Appreciate that, John, very much. So there is an answer there. So if you got a Dana 30 on a Jeep and you're renting a ball joint press kit from any one of the stores out there, any one of the rental facilities or the parts stores, make sure that it's got all the right adapters in it. And Ray, I should have thought about that, because the ones you and I would own, they've got everything under the sun in one kit. It's all in the case even.
Right, yes.
Carry the case out, what you're doing, you pick out what you need, and away you go.
Right. It seems like still with that big kit, there's always one that you need to get.
Well, and that's where sometimes you have, let's just face it, you have other things around the shop that you
yes.
that you actually make use of. Let's just say that.
Experience counts.
There you go. That's exactly what I was trying to say. All right, let's get one more in before the next break. Gary and Greeley, you're next.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Doing great, Gary. By the way, those of you listening, we got lines open. Call us. We'll get you on right after the break. 303-477-5600. Gary, you're next.
Yeah, great show. Love it. Hey, I got an 07 Chrysler Town Country 3.3 liter. Got a misfire. Been searching it, can't figure it out. But it gets way worse when I turn the AC on. So I'm leaning more towards an electrical problem, maybe.
Mm-hmm. So what have you done up to this point?
New plugs, new wires, and a new coil.
So you've done plugs, wires, and a coil. What you're doing when you put the AC on, of course, is you're putting more load on it. The other way we would test that in a shop would be to put it in gear, power brake it a little bit, and see what the mist does, and if the mist is still heavy. The other thing you need to be checking that I probably would do next. How many miles are on the car?
135.
I'd be doing a compression test on it next and make sure you've got solid compression across all 6 cylinders before you do anything else.
Oh boy!
Because if you don't have a good cylinder, if you've got one cylinder that's low, it magnifies when you're in that power band like you're doing. It gets magnified. If you've got a low compression on a cylinder, it's going to really show up.
Yeah,
I got you.
And that is not uncommon. I have seen technicians over the years, search and literally spend, I'm not exaggerating, spend days on problems trying to figure out why a particular engine has a miss, and you finally stop and say, did you do a compression test? They're like, well, no, I really never thought about that. And you go do a compression test, and one cylinder's got 80 pounds, for example.
Right. And you might be able to do electronic relative compression check to see if they're all the same, or then one that's low before you actually get in and do the manual test, kind of a quick check. Some of the scanners will actually cancel the cylinders for you to see if
how much contribution there is there. They do that by based upon what RPM drop there is and so on, and they kind of give you a relative compression test, we call that. If you've got the ability, you can do it. If not, the old manual way still works fine.
Yes.
Well, I'll probably have to take it into Community Auto then.
Okay. Yeah, they can do that up there for you. They'd be happy to. Take it into the girls, tell them what's going on, what you're struggling with, and and I'm not saying it does or doesn't, because the other thing that can cause that is an injector, too. Right. If you got an injector not firing fully, it'll do the same thing.
Or, restricted.
Gotcha.
If you're a vacuum leaks, there's all kinds of things.
Exactly.
Going too fast story.
Let's hear it.
I was coming to Hedger, Nebraska when I was, maybe 20 years old.
Okay.
Driving a 76 Trans Am. Red and blue lights come on behind me, and my buddy in the passenger seat told me ain't no sense getting a ticket in Hager, Nebraska.
So you punched
I make a right-hand turn headed south to Kansas and bury the speedometer at 140 for quite a while.
Did you get caught?
No, I did not. He did not follow me, did not rate. This was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and this is out in the middle of nowhere.
You must have just figured this one's not worth it. I'm letting him go to Kansas.
Yep. And like you were saying earlier, it took a while for that speedometer to come back down off.
That means you were doing more than 140. So far, Gary, I think you're winning the contest today so far.
And that was on a 2-lane highway.
Oh, boy.
No shoulders.
Which, by the way, the roads back then weren't as good as they are today.
No, sir.
So that was really fast in that day.
That was just because I was young and dumb, and we'll leave it at that.
That's exactly right. I'm glad you're still around, Gary. Let's just say that.
You and me both.
Appreciate the call, Gary. Have a great afternoon. Let's do this. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come right back. We'll take some calls. Two lines open, 303-477-5600. John Rush, Rayside L, Drive Radio, KLZ 560.
I want my mileage back. You lost your mileage with a dirty fuel system. Just a couple miles per gallon adds up to over $6 a tank, and that adds up to hundreds of dollars every year. In just one tank, you can clean your fuel system the professional way with BG44K. Service managers not only use it the most, they use BG44K almost 3-to-1 over any other. Find your shop at bgfindashop.com. That's bgfindashop.com.
I got my mileage back. BG.
At Lone Tree Veterinary Medical Center, we believe that all pets deserve to have a good life. And because we know that your pet will have many different needs throughout its life, we offer complete pet care services. Whether your furry friend needs a checkup, vaccinations, boarding, grooming, obedience training, we are here for your pet 7 days a week. At Lone Tree Veterinary Medical Center, we know that you want the very best for your pet, which is why you can count on us for the latest in technology and methods in everything we do. We are certified with the highest rankings by the American Animal Hospital Association and hold a gold star rating with the Better Business Bureau. You and your pet can visit us Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. We are located at 8681 East Lincoln Avenue in Lone Tree. Learn more about us by visiting our website at LoneTreeVet.com or give us a call at 303-708-8050. We believe that all pets deserve to have a good life.
Hey, Northern Colorado, the sisters from Community Auto here. Just letting you know we got your back. We have a happy family here at Community Auto and would love for you to be a part. We've come a long way since opening shop more than 20 years ago. Thanks, Dad. As Small Business of the Year 2015, featured in Parts and People and among the top shops in Colorado, we'd like to thank you for trusting us with your vehicle. With our new customer loyalty program, you can earn rewards dollars and free services like oil changes and transmission flushes. Like us a lot? Refer a friend, and we'll give you $50. It's that easy. Auto repair doesn't have to be painful. Actually, with us, it's pretty fun. We know that a happy car will get you far, so we'll fix and maintain yours with a smile. We're fun, fresh, and good at what we do. Call us today or visit us at communityautoinc.com. We'd love to meet you.
Goop, gunk, sludge, whatever you want to call it. It's the stuff that makes your engine just plain dirty. Luckily, the active cleaning power of Pennzoil conventional motor oil, just $3.39 a quart at Napa, helps keep your engine clean. So pick up Pennzoil conventional for $3.39 a quart at Napa and say goodbye to gunk. That's Napa know-how. General States pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer expires 6/30/16.
Life is full of enjoyable moments, such as getting a root canal, paying taxes, your kids playing their recorder, dinner with the in-laws, and buying a car. I'm just messing with you. Those things are absolutely horrible. But with the help of Mike Lather and JFR and Associates, they might actually make purchasing a new vehicle, well, enjoyable. Tell them what you're looking for, and they'll set out and find what fits your parameters, handle the negotiating, gather history reports, and even arrange financing. Before you know it, you're behind the wheel of your new car. Take hunting for a new vehicle off of your to-do list and give it to Mike Lather with JFR and Associates. Give him a ring at 720-266-4941, 720-266-4941. Tell Mike that you heard about him on Drive Radio and get back to enjoying your kids' wonderful impromptu recorder concert.
In a flash, from out of nowhere, your whole life can change forever. It happened so quickly, nobody saw it coming. Soon the medical bills will be arriving.
Will insurance cover your injuries? Does the other driver have assets? Should I sue?
It was his fault after all. After an accident, you need to call the law offices of Flesh Law. Flesh Law will never settle until you are fully compensated for your injuries.
Call 303-806-8886 for the Flesh Law Firm. 303-806-8886. Online, go to fleshlawfirm.com.
Flesh Law, the trial-tested, trial-ready attorneys.
This is ASE Automotive Professional Pam Oaks, and it's time to take a 60-second break and make you a savvy car consumer. It's time to learn a little bit about your auto. Less than 5% of all vehicles manufactured in 2016 are manual shift. Therefore, you're most likely driving an automatic version while listening to this tip. So it's important for you to know that this component needs to be serviced. But when? Each make and model has a factory maintenance schedule, and it's readily available. Just ask your dealership or ASE Blue Seal shop for the official copy. It's that easy. Lesson learned. Want to learn more about your vehicle? Visit me at CarCareForClueless.com, making you a savvy car consumer.
And this is John Rush, Drive Radio, KLZ 560. Ray Seidel from Four Seasons is with me. Real quick, I need to share something with you. We have Ascent Health Center now joining us on Drive Radio, and this came from a diet, basically, that Dan and myself, Dan's my co-host during the weekday show. So Dan started this. Actually, Scott Watley, I'll blame it on Scott. Scott Watley from Sportsman of Colorado actually started all of this. So he did really well. You could see a big change in the way his whole outlook looked, how he looked, how he felt, and so on. And so then Dan said, well, gosh, Scott, if you're doing it, let me give it a whirl. So then Dan did it. Well, then I saw what Dan was doing, and I said, all right, I need to do that. And here's the kicker. Those of you listening know this. I weighed 305 pounds at one time. I do my best to stay under 200. I like to stay around the 180 mark. Now, there's times where that's easier than others to do. And sometimes that starts to creep up. So I watched Dan and I watched Scott, kind of go through the program. And I thought, all right, I'm gonna give it a whirl too. So I went and saw Dr. Julie. She's at Ascent Health Center, Dr. Julie, 200 Quebec Street. Phone number 303-343-8800. You can find her at ascenthealthcenter.com. And everything, by the way, there's a link right on our front page of Drive Radio's website, drive-radio.com. And I tell you what, after sitting with her for 90 minutes, I already knew a lot about when it comes to diet, losing weight, keeping weight off, and so on. And you kind of like our radio show, Dan, or Ray, you think we kind of knew everything? Yeah. I soon learned that even though I thought I knew and did know a lot about health, there were a lot of things I didn't know was missing. So I started the program this last week. So basically started on Tuesday. And as of this morning, I'm down 8 pounds. Dan has lost 19 pounds so far. This thing works, and she'll tell you that if you do what she tells you to do, even after the diet, you won't gain it back because she changes the way you do food and your health and the whole 9 yards. So she, basically what she's saying is in that cycle of weight gain, weight loss, weight gain, weight loss. So if you're somebody like me that has struggled with your weight for years, give her a call today. It's Dr. Julie, 303-343-8800. Go to our website, drive-radio.com. Click on the front page. You'll see her listed there. And I would encourage you, give her a call. She'll help you out. If you want some personal testimonials from me or some anything on that level, send me an email, john@drive-radio.com, and I'll get you in touch with her. But her stuff works. So we're asking the question, how fast have you been in a car? Not on a drag strip, not on a racetrack, top speed. What were you doing? Why? And did you get a ticket? So we're talking to John in Centennial. He's next. John, welcome.
Good morning. Love your show.
Thank you, sir.
I was going to California. Just purchased a used 69 Corvette. It was 71.
Okay.
And they had opened a brand new section of the freeway. So I took a cruise down the freeway, both directions, made sure there weren't any cops sitting there, and cranked it up. I was doing 147, and I don't know if I would have reached 150 or not, but boy, you're covering a lot of geography.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You and Gary, the last gentleman that called in with the 76 Trans Am, when you get going above 140,
yeah, we were talking about
those little lines are dots at that point.
Yes.
They fly by.
Yes, they do. You're clicking away. So for how long did you do that? In other words, a couple miles, a mile. How long were you doing that?
Oh, I would say probably over a mile.
Okay.
So,
do you still have that car? What happened to the car?
I still have the car.
Really?
I still have it. It's all factory numbers, original.
You're kidding me.
Don't drive it much, but
Good for you.
I still got it.
So what engine and stuff does it have in it, John?
It's 350, but it's got the 350 now.
Okay.
I filled it up when I
automatic or 4-speed car?
Automatic.
Automatic. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Good for you. That's really cool that you still own it. Good for you.
Yeah, since October of 71.
Wow, that's good. That is awesome. So you bought it 2 years old, basically.
Yeah, one owner, guy worked for skate car and had 2 other cars and hardly ever drove it.
Okay, so what'd you pay for the car back then, if I can ask?
$4,000.
$4,000. What's the car worth today?
Yeah, I'll be real honest with you. I have no intent of getting rid of it, so I don't know. It's, it's all, factory numbers and everything. It's original.
Let's just say this. I think you've got your money's worth out of your $4,000 and you've done pretty well on the car.
Yes.
I agree.
There you go.
Yeah.
John, I appreciate the phone call very much. Thank you for doing that. And those of you listening, question of the day. What's the fastest you've ever been and why? So I have a story. I was a passenger. Not a driver, but a passenger. And I had a friend of mine that, for some odd reason, thought everywhere you went had to be 100 mile an hour plus wherever you went. To the point where I finally just said, I'm not riding anymore. But in the last one, I quit riding after this. So we're coming down, back in those days, McCaslin in East Boulder was a little old windy 2-lane farm road. Not like it is today, 4-lane. It was a little old 2-lane road. And we're zipping along coming from Superior back over towards Gunbarrow. And we're doing about 120, and the speedo's buried, which means we're doing more than 120. And we're in the left lane passing cars, and about this time, a farm tractor, decides he's going to turn left to go into a field to do some work. How in the world, only a miracle by God, literally, that we got around that guy in one piece and got it back on the road. And I vowed after that, I'm done. I'm never riding in this car again. And I don't think I ever did after that. Now, that's a hard conversation to have with your good friend when you say, you know what? I'm not doing this again. I'll walk before I ride, because I want to keep walking.
Yes.
But, we're never advocating speed. That's not what this is about. It's sort of reminiscing, going back, looking back on your life. What's the fastest you did? Why? What were the circumstances? And we are by no means advocating driving, 100 plus miles an hour. Now, I will say this, though. We have roads today that are extremely, extremely well built. You talk about the Autobahn and that and so on. And you know what? We've got roads over here in the U.S. that are built just as well as that road is. And our roads here are built for much higher speeds than we're able to travel as far as our speed limits are concerned. Now, I say that to say this, you still need to abide by the speed limit.
Yeah, right.
Okay, bottom line. All right, let's do this. We got one last break this hour. Give us a call. What's the fastest you've ever been? Tell us why. Did you get a ticket or not? And then also, if you got questions, we're here to answer them. I said this earlier. Next week's show will be a replay show because of 4th of July weekend. We will not be in studio, so if there's anything you've got going on, questions you want to ask, now is the time. 303-477-5600. We'll be right back here on Drive Radio. John Rush and Ray Seidel, 4 Seasons, KLZ 560.
Your car has up to 24 different onboard computers, making repairs more complicated than ever. Without the right tools, some of these repairs are nearly impossible. Once again, Extreme Auto Repair in Parker has gone to the extreme.
Say that again?
Extreme owner Dennis Brewster invested in
Yeah, you're going to have Napa and then the drive-in.
This is important because by using these specialized scan tools, they can directly connect your car's computer system to the actual manufacturer for instant diagnostics. Manufacturer specs and all of the up-to-date, detailed repair information your technician needs to properly fix your car. Best of all, they are faster and always cheaper than the dealerships. Extreme Auto Repair, the most technologically advanced car care center in Douglas County. Tell them to listen to KLZ and they'll take 20% off your bill. Call 303-841-1071, 303-841-1071. Extreme Auto Repair in Parker, going to the extreme for you.
This is Red Merrill for Phoenix Weaponry. Phoenix Weaponry is a weapon manufacturer that services the firearm enthusiast. From precision ARs to suppressors, Phoenix Weaponry can make your dreams come true. Phoenix Weaponry is a full-service gun shop that offers gunsmithing, coating, and modifications to your own weapon. Phoenix Weaponry, family-owned and operated right here in Colorado. If you can dream it, Phoenix Weaponry can build it. Call today, 720-340-2496. Again, that's 720-340-2496. Or visit their website, phoenixweaponry.com. Mention Sports from Colorado and receive 10% off your custom-built weapon.
Geno's with a J is your go-to auto service shop in Littleton for all your car care needs. Needing an oil change? Take advantage of Geno's premium $29.95 oil change and receive a free set of windshield wipers with the mention of this ad. See store for details. Brakes, alignments, or car maintenance. Geno's does it all. In business over 32 years, Geno's offers courtesy vehicles while your car is being serviced. They are conveniently located at Bowles and Platte Canyon in Littleton. Visit them online at GenosAutoservice.com. That's Geno's with a J.
Seatbelts, airbags, onboard radar, laser, and camera systems. The vehicle safety technology available in today's cars and trucks is impressive, but none of it will keep you safe if you're driving on worn-out brakes. Extreme Auto Repair of Parker is a brake repair specialist. There are many reasons for noisy brakes, and most of them are simple fixes, but there's always the chance that something dangerous is going on. Take your car to Extreme Auto Repair of Parker, and their ASC certified master techs will be happy to take a look, just to be on the safe side. Extreme Auto Repair is huge, with 20 service bays, so they always have room for you, especially if you tell them you're a KLZ listener. Extreme Auto Repair of Parker. Call ahead for even faster service, 303-841-1071. 303-841-1071. Extreme Auto Repair. Going to the extreme for 17 years. Know-how!
That power drill you bought in 96 is working about as awesome as a 20-year-old drill should, meaning not so awesome. So trade it in at Napa and get a $25 instant rebate toward a new DeWalt cordless drill kit. There's only one word to describe instantly getting $25 off a new DeWalt drill, and that word is awesome. That's Napa Know-How. Participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Trade-in rebate may vary. Offer expires 6/30/16.
Like cars, relationships require regular maintenance, romantic date nights, family bike rides, dinner with families. Why should your relationship with your car be any different? Give your vehicle a well-deserved night out at the 88 Drive-In in Commerce City.
Admission includes all 3 features, and kids under 12 are free. The 88 Drive-In is open every night of the week, starting at 6 p.m. Friday and Saturday, and 7 p.m. Sunday through Thursday.
Take time to nurture all those special relationships in your life by visiting the 88 Drive-In tonight.
And it is drive-in season. The 88 Drive-In has an exciting movie lineup for the weekend. Held over by popular demand, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the new movie Central Intelligence with The Rock, and Neighbors 2. You can watch all 3 for just $8 a person. Children under 12 are free. The box office opens at 6 p.m. on Friday and Saturday, 7 p.m. Sunday through Thursday. While you're there, be sure to check out the pizza. The 88 Drive-In runs a pizza special Monday through Thursday. Get 1 pizza and 2 16-ounce sodas, all for $12. Pizzas are served to you fresh and hot out of the oven, and they are a staff favorite. So 88 Drive-In, located at the corners of 88 Avenue and Rosemary Street in Commerce City. When you get there, tell them Drive Radio sent you. Lines are open, 303-477-5600. Give us a call. We'll get you right on air. One thing I keep forgetting to mention this on Drive Radio. We are also heard on 95.3 FM, 100.7 FM, 1220 AM, and you can find us on the TuneIn app and at 560thesource.com. So some of you that are listening out of state, or if you travel and you want to keep listening to us, that TuneIn app works fantastic, or you can stream us right from your computer. And actually, the easiest way to do that is go to drive-radio.com, and the minute our site loads, if the sound is on your computer, it'll play. It's really cool and easy the way that works. So just go to drive-radio.com. If you want to listen online, you can. It's all right there. Makes it really easy. So I got a text message a moment ago from a friend of mine that says this: I've been 120 plus miles an hour many times chasing speeders in a Camaro. I didn't get a ticket, but somebody else usually did. Okay, so if you have those stories, you're welcome to share those as well. So thank you for that. We appreciate that, Chris, very much. Thanks for chiming in. And there's probably a few officers of the law that could probably vouch for that, right?
Yeah, I can imagine the stories they have.
Yeah, I can too. All right, let's go to Nick. He's got a question for us. Nick, welcome. What's going on, sir?
Hi, guys. I got a power steering pump that's starting to make noise.
Okay.
And I wanted to flush out the fluid. And I didn't know if there was an efficient way to do that without taking everything apart. And second, is there any kind of an additive that I need to add as I do this flush?
Two things. So, Ray, real quick, I'll look up the info on the additive.
What vehicle are we working on?
Oh, this is a Dodge Stratus Coupe.
Dodge Stratus. Okay.
And it's got about 180 on it.
Okay. Does it have a reserve reservoir or a plastic reservoir?
It has a reservoir, yes.
Okay, I'm saying. So, for flushing it, they do make flush machines that you can, get the fluid out of it and stuff. Again, you need to find a shop that has one or whatever, but normally, you can drain the fluid or take the fluid out and, just keep adding fluid, and you kind of do a flush that way by adding fluid. For the Dodge Stratus, with those reserve reservoirs, they have a screen in those reservoirs. So you need to actually take that off and clean it, or you might be able to find another one and just replace it. What happens is if the fluid doesn't return fast enough, it'll cavitate and make noise. As far as fluid, I like to, on that one, I usually use the synthetic transmission fluid, or the ATF4. That seems to work the best for Chryslers.
And as far as additives go, BG does have a great power steering additive. In fact, I've quieted some systems down over the years with it. It really does work well. And if the system is extremely dirty, they make a quick clean product that you're probably not going to find anywhere other than some of the auto care centers, some of our Colorado Select auto care centers. You're not going to find that on a Napa shelf typically. But if it's really, really dirty, you can run a quick clean product through it first, then flush it out, as Ray said.
Yeah. Like I said, the reservoir is the key both for Chryslers and Fords.
Okay. Is there a way to clean that filter, or you just take it off? Or
yeah, I said you can actually take the reservoir off and clean it with, I don't know, I guess you don't have it. So we use brake clean. Yeah, air and brake clean, and try to get, you'll see the black residue and stuff on it. So yeah, some of those are really hard to clean because the way the flow goes through them. But yeah, you can definitely try to clean them off. So brake clean and air.
Yeah, what I've been using, and I have since the car was new, was using the ATF Dextron. That was recommended in the manual.
Sure.
But ATF4, you're saying what better?
For Chrysler, yes, and because that is synthetic transmission fluid. I mean, the Dextron, I'm not sure about that one, if that is or not.
I'm not either. And again, BG makes a power steering fluid for that vehicle. And we're ones that say on power steering, try to use the original, whatever fluid it's called for, use that, don't switch.
Okay.
If at all possible.
Okay. Because there won't be too much interference. I just wanted to get it done because it's turning brown and it's starting getting odor in it.
Yep, it's due.
And I figured it's time, and I needed an easy way to do it.
Yep, no, it's due. It's due.
And instead, I would call it what I say is a Polish flush, where you actually take and suck the fluid out of the reservoir, put new fluid in, start it up a little bit, shut it off until you cycle a little bit of fluid, and then you suck out again. So you're not doing a complete flush, but you're putting good fluid, new fluid back into it.
Right. Just kind of diluting it down.
Diluting it down, and over a period of time, again, for a quart or a couple quarts of fluid, you definitely can get it all out that way. Or you get one to get out, drive it for a day or so, and do it again. Over a period of time, you're going to get most of that contamination out.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Okay.
Again, but on that situation, if you have a screen in the reservoir, you got to clean that, otherwise the flush won't work.
Okay.
All right, Nick. Appreciate it very much. Thanks so much for the phone call. Guys, with that, let's do this. Hour number 1 is over of Drive Radio. So we got 2 hours left. We're going to get an update here in just a few minutes about the dirt drag strip coming in out in Byers. So we'll talk about that as soon as we come back. We've, again, got a new sponsor that joined us, Fast Wax. We'll talk about them at the 11 o'clock hour and lots of other things coming your way. Question for the day. How fast have you been in a car? Did you get a ticket, and why were you going that fast? We want to hear the whole story. So that's next on Drive Radio. Give us a call, 303-477-5600. We'll be right back. Hour 2 coming up next. John Rush, Ray Seidel, Mindy, our great engineer, and Larry Unger from Larry's Automotive and Transmission. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. This is Drive Radio, KLZ 560.
Still haven't had enough? Go to drive-radio.com. Email your questions and comments. Download previous programs and find lots of useful information, including your nearest Colorado Select Auto Care Center. That's drive-radio.com. Thanks for listening to Drive Radio, sponsored by the member shops of Colorado Select Auto Care Centers on KLZ 560.
Drive Radio is a presentation of Colorado Select Auto Care Centers. The independently owned and operated shops of Colorado Select hold each other accountable for their highest standards of technical expertise, honesty, and professionalism. They all understand that choosing a mechanic is risky business, so Colorado Select was created by this exclusive group of like-minded professionals who are dedicated to raising the level of consumer confidence in Colorado's auto repair industry. Schedule your next oil change at any of the Colorado Select Auto Care Centers heard on Drive Radio, and you'll immediately see the difference. For the complete list of all the member shops in the state, visit drive-radio.com.
John Rush during the afternoon rush, weekdays from 3 to 6 on KLZ 560.
It's springtime in the Rockies with Sportsman of Colorado. Hi, this is Scott Watley. Tune in Saturday afternoons at 1. We'll tell you where the fish are biting with our fishing experts for discount fishing tackle. We'll talk with some of our favorite outfitters for turkey and the upcoming Colorado big game seasons. Williams Archer will be here to get you ready for your archery season. All that and more on Sportsman of Colorado. Saturdays 1 to 2 p.m. right here on KLZ 560. Check out our website, sportsmanofcolorado.com. If you like the outdoors, you'll love Sportsman of Colorado.
Right now, the source is simulcasting in AM and FM. KLZ Denver, AM 560. KLZ FM 100.7. And KLDC Denver, AM 1220 and FM 95.3. KLDC HD Denver and KLZ HD Denver with online listening at 560thesource.com.
USA Radio News with John DeMaster.
Hawaii is the first state to enter its gun owners into an FBI database. Governor David Ige signing a bill that puts the state into the RATBAC system. It gives law enforcement automatic notification anytime a Hawaii gun owner is arrested anywhere in the country. The governor also signing a bill that bars anyone charged with harassment by stalking or sexual assault from owning a gun. The State Department says the U.S. will try helping Great Britain and the European Union craft a smooth divorce. State Department spokesman John Kirby telling a briefing that the U.S. respects the will of the British people who voted to leave the EU. He noted America has strong ties to both Britain and the EU and hopes to continue those good relationships. The Obama administration against Britain leaving the EU. And the man often referred to as the Jimi Hendrix of keyboards is dead. Bernie Worrell dying at 72 years old on Friday. This is USA Radio News.
I'm Sean Hare, site director at ConservativeTribune.com. Conservative Tribune is one of the most visited news sites in the world, and the reason is simple. ConservativeTribune.com delivers edgy and bold commentary of the news every day. We are unapologetically pro-America, unabashedly conservative. At ConservativeTribune.com, we don't make apologies for who we are or what we say. If you're looking for more than boring stories and simple thought, visit ConservativeTribune.com. That's ConservativeTribune.com.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. Look at this little face. I mean, I love him.
Hamilton the Pug, Instagram store, and Shelter Pet. Amazing adoption stories start in shelters. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
KLZ Denver.
John Rush during the afternoon rush, weekdays from 3 to 6 on KLZ 560.
Being an expert on general automotive knowledge, one with the correct ignition timing be on a 1955 Bel Air Chevrolet with a 327 cubic inch engine and full barrel carburetor.
It is a trick question.
What's this?
The Chevy didn't make a 327 to 55. The 327 did come out to 62. And it wasn't offered in the Bel Air with the 4-barrel carb till 64. However, in 1964, the correct ignition timing will be 4 degrees before top dead center.
Get ready for another hour of Drive Radio, brought to you by Colorado Select Auto Parts. Got a question, experts? Call 303-477-5600. Now it's time to pop the hood and get our hands dirty. Drive Radio on KLZ 560 The Source.
And this is Drive Radio. John Rush, host, KLZ 560, heard on 95.3, 100.7 FM, as well as 1220 AM. And you can listen to us live, stream us at drive-radio.com. Ray Seidel from Four Seasons is also with us. And Larry Unger on the other side of the glass. We appreciate him taking all of your calls. We've got lines open, 303-477-5600. Give us a call. We'll get you right on air. And this hour, got a lot going on. We'll talk to my dad here in just a moment about the dirt drag strip that's coming in out in Byers. Got a lot of things going. Also, question of the day is, how fast have you ever been on the street, not on a racetrack? Give us the story and why. We'll talk about that. And then also got a couple of other sponsors, some new folks to Drive Radio we'll talk about as the show goes on. So stay tuned. We'll have more information on that. So without further ado, Ray, let's do this. So, Dad, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, so what's going on in Byers?
Okay, what we're trying to do is, years ago we had a dirt drag strip, NHRA sanctioned in Boulder, Colorado, run by the Boulder Timing Association. And a bunch of us guys are still alive, and we decided we'd try to find another area to put it in. Byers came up, and he's interested in doing it. And we got a date of July 16th, and it'll be an 8th mile shutdown. We're going to go to 1979 and older cars, so you can bring somewhat of a muscle car. However, you're going to have street tires, fire extinguisher, helmet, seat belts, etc. There'll be a tech inspection. This is the first program we've got on the 16th, so it will grow as we go along. We're going to have 2 more, I think, before winter time. And there's a website, ColoradoMotorsportsPark.com. It's got an entry form on that. There's really not a phone number. I'm going to give you Brother Bill's phone number if I can. Bill's number is 303-587-7714. He's got more information that we can do, time allotting. But basically, that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
It will be in conjunction with a flat track motorcycle race at 5 p.m. that evening. We're going to start at 10 o'clock in the morning for tech, and then we'll run until probably about 4 or 4:30.
Okay, perfect. Where exactly in Byers is it, so everybody listening knows?
It's real simple. If you get to Byers and you look to your south, you'll see a big blue building that was the original dog track. And Don has put in an oval track out there. He's been doing oval track stuff now for about a year and a half. They run modifieds and late models and so forth. And he was interested in doing the drag strip for us. So this is going to be a new venue for us, which is kind of exciting and exciting for him. He wants to perform some more activities out there in regards to like off-road truck racing.
Sure.
The 8th mile will be included like in a straightaway after a couple of curves and jumps and so forth. So
Got it.
He's trying to expand it. So we're going to try to go out there and see if we can't help that. And we had a dirt drag strip back in 57, 58. We're going to try doing that one.
Cool. No, that sounds fun. That'll be a blast. So I'm looking forward to it. That'll be a lot of fun. Let's see if we can get out there at the same time, do a show or something while we're there.
Yes, and we'll try to coordinate that too. This is kind of baby steps along here.
Right.
It's been a difficult thing to do, even trying to find an area to have it done. We had to move out of Boulder County, of course, and so forth.
Right.
But we're trying real hard. We need all the help we can get. We're even looking for volunteers to join the club, etc. And Bill can explain that too with that phone number.
Okay.
And if not, he can call Drive Radio back and talk to
send John, and maybe we can get this thing rocking and rolling.
Yeah, and I'll put it up on the website and such. All of you listening, I'll have it on the website this week, so I'll have more information that way for you also. So, Dad, thanks. It sounds fun. Be a blast.
Okay.
All right, Dad. Talk to you soon.
Love you.
All right, love you. Take care. Bye. Yeah, so that sounds fun.
Yeah, it does. I mean,
It's and nothing against Bandamir's in the
No.
because I raced out there for a number of years, so that's a whole different venue though than what these guys are.
Oh yeah, this is history. I mean, because,
exactly.
I don't remember a car show or someplace. They were talking about the 8th mile dirt, or boulder track, and I'm like, wow, that was pretty cool, especially dirt. I mean, you get some interesting things when you run dirt.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, this is part of your history or the automotive history and stuff. To see it again makes it neat. Yeah,
I'm anxious to be a part of it. So we'll get Drive Radio out there at some point once they get things geared up and going. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's take some calls. We got a line open 303-477-5600. Jeremy, you're next in Westminster. What's going on, sir?
John, this is Emil.
Emil, what's going on?
I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing great.
Hey, I have a friend. I have a friend of mine, Jeremy. We're coming back from our prison ministry, and he had a truck question because his truck had some problems. So I'm going to turn it over to Jeremy.
Sounds good. Perfect. Sounds great, Emil. Thanks.
Yeah, I have a F-150. It's 2002, and I usually take it to the dealership, but they're out like 2 weeks, and I've got an oil leak, and I just need to know if you have a good mechanic in Westminster that I could take it to.
We do, and you can save a lot of money over going to the dealership. You can take it to Larry's Automotive and Transmission. Larry actually answered the phone a moment ago, and I can get you all the details on how to get there. You can find it right on our website, but they're over off of 72nd and Bradburn, and yeah, they can take care of that and save you some money over what you've been spending at the dealer and not wait 2 weeks to get you in.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so yeah, we can definitely help you. How bad is it? How bad is it leaking, Jeremy?
It's leaking pretty good. I'm not a car guy, so I'm not real mechanically inclined, but there's quite a bit of oil leaking out of it.
Okay, just make sure you keep it full. Give these guys a call. In fact, Larry, about at 8 o'clock or so Monday morning, give you a call and you can get it figured out. Okay, Larry's shaking his head yes, so call him Monday, Jeremy. Real quick, the phone number 303-426-2108. 427-2108, sorry. 427-2108. I'll get it right. I get too many numbers in my head.
That's pretty good.
So 303-427-2108.
Okay.
All right, Jeremy. Appreciate it very much. Tell Neil hi. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon and drive safely. We got lines open 303-477-5600. Mark, you're next. What's going on, sir?
I'm going to pull over here so I can safely talk to you.
Right on.
But I have a speed story. Back in the mid to late 1970s, heading back in the middle of the night from a CU Nebraska, another opponent game.
Okay.
That Nebraska beat up on CU. I had a 280Z.
Okay.
Trying to follow a Gremlin 6-pack in the middle of the night through intermittent rain, and I put a phone book on the accelerator of that thing, and I could never catch it.
Really? Really?
You know, the little Gremlin with the stripe around the back hatch and whatever.
Yep.
And that 280Z, I could not catch it.
Really?
No matter how hard I
Gremlins ran
tried.
pretty well, especially if it was a Gremlin with a 401. They ran really well.
I couldn't find out what it had in it.
Never got close enough, huh?
So, and I did have a question concerning diesels.
Yes.
The new blue tech and all that.
Yes.
I'm looking potentially to do a diesel truck in my retirement to plow a little snow as a hobby for my church, etc.
Okay.
Would it find a used one that doesn't have all the filtering crap and all that with it? Or
if you can find one of those trucks without all of it, that's a great deal if you can find it. The problem with that is they're hard to find. They're pricey. In other words, if they're a good, clean, low mileage truck, they are demanding a high price, which makes the new ones look pretty entertaining when you start looking at how much some of the used ones are bringing. Now, one thing to tell you, when it comes to trucks, plowing snow, longevity, and so on. So here's what to stay away from. Okay, everything else you're welcome to buy, but stay away from the following trucks. I would not buy a 6-liter Ford. I would not buy a 6.4-liter Ford. I also would not buy a 6.7 Cummins from the years 2008 to 2011. Outside of that, buy whatever you want.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I'm a long-time listener.
All right.
And you got a great show.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that very, very much. We do really. All of you that listen on a regular basis, that are faithful, send us emails and such. Yeah, we are very thankful for that. I know Ray could say the same thing. We wouldn't do this if it wasn't for that.
Right. Yeah, we're here to, we enjoy talking to our listeners and giving them information, and we always learn something along the way.
That's exactly
so, yeah,
right.
it's a great time.
It really is, and we enjoy doing it. Paul and Golden, you're next. What's going on, sir?
Yeah, I got an 05 Dodge Cummins, and I blew a power steering line, and it sprayed on the ECM.
Okay.
First problem is the brake for your parking brake light stayed on. So I pulled them down, cleaned them with some, what they said was electrical cleaner, and now my fuel gauge won't work. My intake heater keeps coming on and off going down the road.
Sounds to me like that when the power steering fluid got all over that, it must have messed up the ECM.
Now here's the kicker: when it rains, everything works.
When it rains, everything works.
Yeah. If I'm in a rainstorm, everything comes on. Works just like it's supposed to.
It could be a bad connection. Okay, so have you taken the actual ECM clear off the block, cleaned it the best you can?
No, I didn't take it off the block. I just disconnected the harnesses.
Okay.
And sprayed it down with what they said was cleaner for it. But on the can, it says it lays down a protective coating.
No, okay, so here's what I would do if it were me. I would take that off the block, get it good and clean, and get the outside good and clean. You don't want to take it apart because there's probably not much inside. They're pretty weather tight. But take the thing off, get it really good and clean, use an electrical contact cleaner that leaves no residue when you're done. In other words, you really don't, with the weather pack connectors that are on that, you really don't need anything with a residue on it. And the other thing you need to check for is make sure that weather pack connector going into that didn't get all swelled up because of the power steering fluid getting on it.
Right. And again, Napa does make, or they do make an electrical contact kind of
it's contact cleaner,
or really acts. Yeah, I mean it's very expensive. Like for an ounce or so, it's like $75 or so. But that is the perfect for making those low voltage connections. So there might be something to look into that you need to.
That's right.
Do that.
What's happening is if you get any kind of arcing or any kind of a misconnection in there, that's what's turning the lights and such on because there's no feedback coming through them.
Okay.
When it's raining, the humidity's up. That changes the resistance value.
Right. Could I use like a torch cleaner to clean up the actual terminals on the wire end?
I wouldn't, because if you end up getting them too big, they won't make connection at all at that point.
Right.
You should be, and again, those weather pack connectors, everything should be, you've probably got a little bit of contamination there from the power steering fluid. Just get everything good and clean. Make sure the connectors aren't, the rubber around the connector is not swelled up. If it is, you'll have to deal with that on a separate issue.
Yeah, and then if there's pubes in the computer, you might have to spray on the rag and actually wipe it there.
Q-tip it, whatever.
Q-tip it because you don't want to get any fluid in the computer.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you say Napa makes some stuff just for it.
Yep, of course they do.
Sounded expensive, but it's probably cheaper than
it works. I mean, I have a bottle sitting on my top of my toolbox. I mean, we don't use it very often, but like I said, in computer applications where you're running at really low voltage and
when you need it,
yes, it really works.
Yeah. I had the ECM checked out, and it's not storing any ghosts, which is weird.
That's probably because it just has bad connections, which should make sense.
If it's bad connections,
All right.
You betcha, Paul. Appreciate it very much. Thanks for the call. Jerry, you've got a comment on our speed question. Don't go anywhere. We've got lines open 303-477-5600. Give us a call. We'll get you right on air. This is John Rush, Ray Seidel, Drive Radio, KLZ 560.
You don't need an air-conditioned steering wheel or high-performance supercharger to use Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil. Now just $5.99 a quart at Napa. Mobil 1 offers premium protection. selection for all cars, premium or not so premium. So give your ride Mobil 1 Synthetic just $5.99 a quart, even if it doesn't have the latest technological stuff. That's Napa know-how. General States pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer expires 6/30/16.
Does your vehicle drive straight? Are your tires wearing even? Have you hit a few curbs or potholes lately? If any of these sound familiar, then you should have your alignment checked. At Arvada West Auto and Truck, we have the latest in alignment imaging technology to give you the perfect alignment. Many times, extra parts are needed to keep the tires wearing correctly. Call or stop in at Arvada West Auto and Truck, 11752 West 64th Avenue, just west of Sims. 303-422-1065.
At Lone Tree Veterinary Medical Center, we believe that all pets deserve to have a good life. And because we know that your pet will have many different needs throughout its life, we offer complete pet care services. Whether your furry friend needs a checkup, vaccinations, boarding, grooming, obedience training, we are here for your pet 7 days a week. At Lone Tree Veterinary Medical Center, we know that you want the very best for your pet, which is why you can count on us for the latest in technology and methods in everything we do. We are certified with the highest rankings by the American Animal Hospital Association and hold a gold star rating with the Better Business Bureau. You and your pet can visit us Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. We are located at 8681 East Lincoln Avenue in Lone Tree. Learn more about us by visiting our website at LoneTreeVet.com or give us a call at 303-708-8050. We believe that all pets deserve to have a good life.
The idea was to give drivers a definitive list of the top auto repair shops in Denver. John Rush here. We started Colorado Select Car Care Centers 15 years ago as a referral service to help consumers find an honest repair shop they could trust. Colorado Select Auto Care Centers are peer-reviewed, ASE certified master technicians that are required to maintain the highest standards of technical excellence, consumer satisfaction, cleanliness, and most importantly, they all offer the industry's best 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on every repair. Choose any Colorado Select Auto Care Center and you'll finally have a technician you can trust. Find one near you at coloradoselect.com.
When you work on your car, take a look around. You find yourself in a tiny garage, tripping over your tools, or in that grease spot under a carport at your apartment, or someplace even worse. You get busted nails on the chassis too many times because you can't stop daydreaming about a garage where you can keep your ride, your tools, all the elements. Call Tom Witzel at Remax Alliance. Tom is a Colorado native with 17 years experience in assisting his clients as they move on to the next stages of their lives. Tom Witzel and his team of real estate professionals are highly experienced with the business and emotional challenges involved in buying and selling real estate. In other words, Tom Witzel isn't in the house selling business. He's in the business of helping people. Call Tom Witzel at 303-808-2206. 303-808-2206 so he can do what he does best and get you into the house and the garage that you can be proud to call home.
The new gasoline direct injection engines, also known as GDI, are the hottest new improvement to horsepower and fuel efficiency in this century. Service professionals agree that GDI's unique power requires unique GDI maintenance. BG Products has the most current and effective GDI maintenance available in over 20,000 shops, and they back it up with a lifetime BG protection plan. Go to bgfindashop.com. That's bgfindashop.com. If you have a GDI engine and you want it to last.
Here we go, guys.
Letters.
And this is John Rush Drive Radio, KLZ 560. Ray Seidel from Four Seasons with us again. FastWax.com is the place where you can go to get all of your car detailing, car care product needs, I should say. And they've got one great product, which is a wash and wax product that does not require any water. It's a waterless product. And I tell you what, I've used it. It works. So with that, they've got a buy one, get one free option right now on their detail kits. Go to fastwax.com and order up. And if you happen to have a chance, let them know that you heard about them on Drive Radio. There'll be a new sponsor to Drive Radio. So fastwax.com. You can find all of your car care products there. Let's go to Jerry. What's going on, Jerry?
Not much. The one I got several, but the one was thinking is I used to have a 72 Barracuda 318 car, and I'm not too sure what the gearing is. I think it was a 273 gearing.
Okay.
And one time I went to a friend's place. This is up in northern Indiana, and went and visited him. And I was on my way back home, and there was a guy that I knew. He had a 68 Barracuda, but it was a pretty sweet car. And so we got the US 30 northern Indiana, and side by side, and I topped them out at 120, and I think I topped out about 126, 127 on US 30 there in northern Indiana.
Wow. That's coming along.
Well, the guy when I went to visit, he used to have a 71 Hemi Cuda that he bought out of Chicago. It had it was geared real hot after how much gearing it was on that. And before we pulled the gears out of that, he said, "Hey, let's take this thing out." He said, "It never topped out," and it had a rally instrument panel, which I think tops out at 150, and it just went past just a little bit past that. We brought it home, then we got the gears out and both 438.
Got it. Yeah, gone were those days.
Yeah. Then I used to the last vehicle I had was a 41 Willys Post Street pickup at top out at 130. But
okay.
It's almost in the quarter.
Yeah, yeah. That's a fun car too. Good for you. Right on.
Oh yeah. I just happen to be driving through Colorado here and look at the stations and guys. And you said you guys are on the web?
We are. You can find us on the web. You can go to our website and hear us live at drive-radio.com, or you can go to the TuneIn app, which is a smartphone app, and you can go to the TuneIn app and just look for KLZ 560, find us there, and you can hear us there too.
Okay, great, because I pulled this load up from Nevada and head over to Buckeye, which people might not know is Ohio.
Right.
So I'm happy to get you guys over here on your side of east side of Denver. So appreciate it.
Well, appreciate it, Jerry.
I'm listening for you guys.
Well, thank you very much. Keep listening. Tell your friends and family the same. We'd love to have you as a part of the show. Thanks so much, Jerry. Appreciate it very much.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of
Well, right on. We appreciate it. You let us. You keep listening, and we'll feed you some good stuff. We appreciate it.
Okay, appreciate
Thanks,
it,
Jerry.
guys.
You be safe on the road. Thanks for what you do also on that. We wouldn't have what we have without all you guys trucking things around for us. So those of you that get out there and complain about the truckers, they're the ones bringing you the stuff you need. So be thankful. Let's go to Bob in Thornton. He's next. Bob, welcome.
Hey, good morning, Don and Ray.
Hi.
I have a friend with a 2004 Honda Accord V6 3-liter. Her engine light came on. I recommended she take it over to the people, one of your recommended people, the lady over on Arvada West, I think it is.
Yep, Arvada West, yep.
Yeah, great people over there. She got a reading. Her gas cap is okay, but they say the problem, the reading that they gave her, the problem is somewhere between the gas filler and the tank. How should I proceed?
Oh, it's got an evap leak in it is what they're trying to say then. So hard to say. Could very well be that it needs hoses replaced. There could be valves in there that are bad. Essentially what they're saying is it's got an evap problem. That's what's turning on the light.
Right.
Evap problem, and that is somewhere between the filler and the tank itself. So I should check the hoses, and then what?
So yeah, the connections or the hoses. I mean, they say, I don't know. Sometimes they have vents that are on that filler too.
True.
So, yeah, I mean, did they actually smoke that, or how did they isolate that?
I don't know. I sent her over there. She gave me the reading, and she told me that the lady told her that was where the problem was, somewhere between those two things. So she kind of tied on money, so she wanted me to take a look at it first and see if there's something. But I'll proceed there, open up or check all the hoses and the, like you say, the vents and that sort of thing.
Right, yeah,
see what I can.
Yeah, definitely check for, like I said, hose clamp that might be loose, or some, they might have worked on it before and didn't get it back all the way, or cracks in the hoses to where you can, it's not a tight seal. That's usually in that filler neck. I guess there's other possibilities that if it's a plastic one, and the filler neck itself might be cracked.
Yes, but she just bought the car. Great car. I mean, of course, the Hondas, they run forever, but
that's unusual. We haven't really run across similar situations like that.
Yeah, I've never heard of that either. Yeah, it was interesting. So your thing about the people in their top speed and stuff sort of reminded me of my brother-in-law who tried to tell me his car would go 160 because that's how high the speedometer was.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Me and my buddies back in the day, we were driving my dad's 47 Chevy flatbed pickup with a flathead in it, and there were 4 of us in the truck, and had 3 on the tree, and we were doing 198 on Spear Boulevard during rush hour. Cops were after us because we just pulled a 200-pound trout out of Bar Lake. So that's my story. Did you get all that?
Good one, Bob. Thanks for the call. That's a story, all right. I'd like to see a 200-pound trout pulled out of the lake. Oh, that's hilarious. That's really good. Hey, stories were, or the question of the day, stories we're getting in is, what's the fastest you've ever been? Why? Did you get a ticket or not? Give us the reasons. Give us a story. Let us know. We've had some great stories, by the way, today. So appreciate everybody listening. And thanks to those of you, the new listeners especially. We've had several today call in and talk about being a new listener. We appreciate that very much. All right, let's do this. We'll come right back. We've got more Drive Radio coming your way. Don't go anywhere. This is John Rush, Ray Seidel, Drive Radio, KLZ 560.
Hello, Drive Radio listeners. This is Chris Hammond with Kins and Leslie Distributing, your local BG Products distributor. Back again this week with your BG Tech Tip. If your car is anything like mine, you're probably getting good use out of the air conditioning system already this summer. Sometimes when you get in a car and you turn on the air conditioning, you'll notice a stale or musty smell. That musty smell oftentimes is caused by spores from fungus or bacteria growing in the ventilation system, and that's just gross. Fortunately, most cars can eliminate that smell with a simple application of a aerosol-based disinfectant applied directly to the intake of the vehicle's ventilation system. Additionally, at BG, we recommend that once a year you visit your technician to have a foam-based cleaning agent applied directly to the working side of the evaporator. This will remove dirt and grime and fungus buildup that occurs throughout the year and help eliminate those pesky and disgusting odors in your car. Thanks again, Drive Radio listeners. This is Chris Hammond with BG Products. We'll talk to you again next week.
Geno's with a J is your go-to auto service shop in Littleton for all your car care needs. Needing an oil change? Take advantage of Geno's premium $29.95 oil change and receive a free set of windshield wipers with the mention of this ad. See store for details. Brakes, alignments, or car maintenance. Geno's does it all. In business over 32 years, Geno's offers courtesy vehicles while your car is being serviced. They are conveniently located at Bowles and Platte Canyon in Littleton. Visit them online at GenosAutoservice.com. That's Geno's with a J.
Know-how! Goop, gunk, sludge, whatever you want to call it. It's the stuff that makes your engine just plain dirty. Luckily, the active cleaning power of Pennzoil Conventional Motor Oil, just $3.39 a quart at Napa, helps keep your engine clean. So pick up Pennzoil Conventional for $3.39 a quart at Napa and say goodbye to gunk. That's Napa Know-How. General States pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, and recycling fees. Offer expires 6/30/16.
Seatbelts, airbags, onboard radar, laser, and camera systems. The vehicle safety technology available on today's cars and trucks is impressive, but none of it will keep you safe if you're driving on worn-out brakes. Extreme Auto Repair of Parker is a brake repair specialist. There are many reasons for noisy brakes, and most of them are simple fixes, but there's always the chance that something dangerous is going on. Take your car to Extreme Auto Repair of Parker, and their ASE certified master techs will be happy to take a look, just to be on the safe side. Extreme Auto Repair is huge, with 20 service bays, so they always have room for you, especially if you tell them you're a KLZ listener. Extreme Auto Repair of Parker. Call ahead for even faster service, 303-841-1071. 303-841-1071. Extreme Auto Repair. Going to the extreme for 17 years.
Hot air should be coming from your radio, not your car's AC. Call Larry's Automotive and Transmission Repair to make sure your air conditioning is ready to take on the Colorado heat this summer. Larry's Automotive and Transmission is ATRA certified and they have an A+ rating with the BBB. And as a registered Colorado Select member shop, they come highly recommended by John Rush. Tell the guys at Larry's that you heard this ad on KLZ and they'll have their ASA certified master tech give you a complete AC checkup for only $78.87. Leave the hot air to a radio host like John Rush and keep your cool this election season with Larry's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Call Larry's Automotive and Transmission Repair to schedule your $78.87 KLZ listener special appointment right now. 303-427-2108. That's 303-427-2108.
This is ASE Automotive Professional Payloads, and it's time to take a 60-second break and make you a savvy car consumer. Mitsubishi is giving $1,000 to owners of recognized mileage-altered vehicles. A couple of months ago, the auto manufacturer admitted, after Nissan called them on the carpet, to inflating tire pressure on various models to increase the weight of stickers and PG.
20 seconds.
Mitsubishi officials stated that the incident was isolated to Japan only. According to the manufacturer, no overseas vehicles were affected. Lesson learned. Want to learn more about your vehicle? Visit me at Car Care Philip Lewis.
Sorry.
Making you a savvy car consumer.
And this is John Rush, Rush to Reason, KLZ 560. Ray Seidel from Four Seasons with me today. We're taking calls, answering questions, anything you need. That's what we do on Drive Radio each and every week, 10 to 1 every single Saturday. You can hear us on Sunday, a replay of the previous day's show from 11 to 2. So if you miss anything today, you can hear us tomorrow from 11 to 2. You can catch us on our podcast by going to drive-radio.com. You can hear us on 95.3 and 100.7 FM, as well as 1220 AM and, of course, 560 AM. And if you miss us, you can actually catch us again on the podcast, or you can catch us live, stream us on the TuneIn app, or go to drive-radio.com and just stream us right off of the website. Mike in Denver, you're next. Mike, welcome.
Hi, fellas. As usual, great show.
Thanks,
Hi,
Mike.
Ray.
Hi, Mike.
John. Boy, that was a handful to say there, John. That good heavens, good memory or good card in front of you.
I just say it a lot during the week, so I'm used to it.
I was calling about high-speed, runs.
Yep.
Two instances I had years ago. I bought a foreign car, and I was over in Germany testing it before I purchased it, and I managed to get it to 192 on the Autobahn.
That's pretty fast.
It's stupid fast. But what's stunning, of course, is you're over there and Sundays, all the fast machinery comes out. But you're over there and you're cruising along at $140 or $150. Believe it or not, and somebody passes you, flashes from behind you, and passes you in a station wagon, a Mercedes AMG or something. It's very disconcerting.
Wow.
I'm dead serious. I mean, there's those. You're in the car industry. There's some cars that are very capable of those speeds.
There are.
As a matter of fact, that's cruising speed for a Z06.
Very true.
And some of those things are nuts. I mean, some of them are nuts. And when you go to places like Germany, you see them on a Sunday. But I was here in Denver with the car that I had purchased a number of years ago out on a road, deserted, that I took it out to blow it out a little bit, and I managed to get a ticket. So the police officer got up to me and he said, "Did you happen to see me behind you?" And I said, "Well, frankly, officer," he asked if I knew how fast I was going. I said, "No." I said, "Did you see me behind you?" And I said, "No. Frankly, sir, at the speeds I was traveling, I thought it was far more prudent that I be looking in front of me." And he just cracked up. And I thought, okay, this is my lucky day. Now, he clocked me at 85 and a 45. I was braking from $140 on this road. And he said, he was laughing, and I said, this is a rare opportunity. I've got him in a good mood. And I said, I don't suppose this is my lucky day. He said, no. So the judge saw that, by the way, and I got a suspended red license for the next 12 months. So, on a more serious note, on this subject, which is an excellent one, I spent some time racing in the Skip Barber series, and I've always loved fast cars. And the interesting thing about this subject is those folks that are out there listening that have those kinds of cars and are tempted, my suggestion would be to go to one of the tracks around here, and if you want to do it, go do it there.
Yep.
2, if you're going to do it, you better know exactly what your air pressure is in your tires to the 1/10 of a pound if you could, and you better have really well-balanced wheels.
Yep.
And you should probably know what you're doing, because those kinds of speeds are not for the faint of heart or the people that don't understand the physics of an automobile.
That's very true, Mike. Very well said.
And I do that when I go out just on a trip. Your tire pressure and your wheels, anything over 100 miles an hour, you get a minute pressure or air problem. You know what your air is doing when you go to 120, 130. Yeah. Those tires are doing some other things.
That's right.
And if you don't have the tires for it, and if they're not inflated right, and the wheels aren't balanced, you're in a lot of trouble.
That's exactly right. No, you're dead on. You're exactly right. No, that's great,
anyway,
Mike. That's good stuff. I appreciate that. Great comments. And yeah, we would make sure everybody understands we're never going to advocate going out and doing this. We just want to have the stories of when you did.
Yeah.
Not saying that you should or shouldn't have. We just want to hear the stories. David in Idaho, you're next.
Hey, John, how's it going?
Good, sir. Welcome. Thanks for calling.
Hey, a couple things. One is the tech tip. I'll start with that. You were talking to an earlier caller about checking compression as the first line of diagnosis for that particular misfire situation. I guess the exact.
Right.
And I was thinking, I had actually taught a lot of technicians over the years this, that my first line of diagnosis was doing a relative compression by ear. And what I mean by that is when you crank like a 4-cylinder car over, it's going to have even pulses between compression curves. And if you have a 4-cylinder car per se that has a low cylinder, you'll hear that skip in the starter, and the starter's cranking the engine. So it's a tip to both technicians and the novice technicians, or to novice do-it-yourselfers, is to disable the ignition and then just crank your engine over. And get kind of get a feel for what it sounds like or what a normal engine sounds like. So when you get a car in or you're working on a car, you'll immediately be able to discern that there's a problem, and then your direction of diagnosis is right to the mechanical versus electrical.
Correct.
So that's how and I should when I was working in ventilation, technicians that brought around this, and I said, I cranked it over, and I said, okay, guys, what's wrong? And they're just like, well, what? And I said, well, this thing's got a low cylinder. And then I cranked it again, they're like, oh my gosh, I never even thought to think about that,
Right.
So it's something real simple that would really save people a lot of time.
Good point. It's a great point.
But moving into, top speed journeys, I being a service manager, a technician over the years, I've had, a number of times where I've driven vehicles fast for customers, for particular reasons. But I thought about it, I think the most entertaining story is when I had my Volkswagen Beetle in Denver. I bought it in California when I was working out there. And I brought it to Denver. I lived in the Boulder area, and I used to drive from Boulder to Denver every day.
Got it.
And this was a 7-wheel Super Beetle that had a 2.5-liter Subaru engine that I put in, custom, and it was a complete state for exports wheels on. That was the only thing you could tell by the car that it was different. And of course, I did the 4-wheel disc brakes and suspension upgrades as well. But I was on the Boulder Turnpike coming from Boulder going into Westminster, and I was still along at a pretty good speed, and I saw a BMW M5 come up, in the passing lane behind me. And at first I got over, and I dropped the hammer, and then we were just kind of neck and neck, and we traded, we started swap places and pulled around a little bit, but that car would do 110 miles an hour. It was geared for 120, but I electronically limited it to the 110 safety reasons, but that's more of a scale speed. You know, when you're driving a little car like that, going 110 miles an hour, it's like going 200 miles an hour.
That's true. No, that's a good point. You got that right.
Yeah.
That scale speed is exactly right. It's like going 100 miles in a go-kart feels like 200 miles an hour in a real car.
Yeah, they're not very aerodynamic.
So I got off in Westchester, and the guy just rolled out his window on the highway, and he just throwing his arm in the air and screaming and just hollering. He thought this was the most fun thing he's ever seen. Unrelated story, I was driving, I think it's Highway 151 goes from Boulder to Westchester. I believe it's 151. Where you go along the front range there.
128.
Anyway, I was
128.
And I was driving that, and there was a steep incline. And again, it was a beautiful day driving to work with the same car. I started accelerating, and I know I was doing well in excess of 75 when I looked at the top of the hill and I saw a state police officer on the opposite side shooting me with radar. And I immediately pulled over. He got out of the car, and I forgot my wallet. He had me fair square. I mean, I was speeding, and he came up and he asked me what I was doing, and I said, "Well, officer, honestly," I said, "it's such a beautiful day outside. It's clear weather." I said, "I just wanted to have some fun this morning." And he walked back. He took my name and address down, came back, and he let me off with a roll. But on his way back, he was looking underneath the car and trying to figure out what the heck I had underneath that thing.
Wow, really?
So yeah, I got very lucky there.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. There's a few guys today that weren't so lucky. So yeah, count your blessings.
Yeah, I've been really lucky over the years. I have other stories to tell where and it's just fun. You know, and actually, what the previous caller was saying about go to a driving school. I had gone to a couple driving schools earlier in my career, and I'll tell you what, one of the things that the one driving school instructor taught us was how to take a late apex when we're on the street. And that is, when you exit the turn, you're actually on the inside of the shoulder. So you have rooms correct for any problems you go in and you're too hot in the turn. I mean, you take a late apex, you're not going to be in the oncoming lane. And I'll tell you what, I've always done that. And,
good point.
Yeah.
That's great.
For me, it's not about the top speed anymore. It's about going fast in the turn. So that's right. What I'm going to do. So anyway,
good stuff, Dan. Hey, man, appreciate you calling and enjoy your day up in Idaho. Thanks so much. Thanks for the tech tip also. We appreciate it. Real quick before we go to our next break, Ascent Health Center. You've heard Dan and I during the week talking about our diet, what we're doing, how we're getting things handled. Dr. Julie will take care of you. Give her a call, 303-343-8800. Find her at AscentHealthCenter.com. New sponsor to Drive Radio. I'm on the diet. Dan's on the diet. Dan's done extremely well. And I call it a diet, but it's really not a diet. It's a health program that will get you into shape. It'll end that cycle of gaining, losing. If you're one of those people that struggle with your weight, I would tell you, give her a call. I would highly recommend her. I'm doing it myself. Got a testimonial for you, and it's working fantastic. So call her today, 303-343-8800. Dr. Julie at Ascent Health Center. With that, we'll take a quick break. We'll come right back. John Rush, Ray Seidel, Drive Radio, KLZ 560.
That power drill you bought in 96 is working about as awesome as a 20-year-old drill should, meaning not so awesome. So trade it in at Napa and get a 20...
No, it's at the 12:45 hour. 2 a day, yeah.
Right, instantly getting $25 off a new DeWalt drill, and that word is awesome. That's Napa know-how. Participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Trade-in rebate may vary. Offer expires 6/30/16.
In a flash, from out of nowhere, your whole life can change forever. It happened so quickly, nobody saw it coming. Soon the medical bills will be arriving. Will insurance cover your injuries? Does the other driver have assets? Should I sue? It was his fault after all. After an accident, you need to call the law offices of Flesh Law. Flesh Law will never settle until you are fully compensated for your injuries.
Call 303-806-8886 for the Flesh Law Firm. 303-806-8886. Online, go to fleshlawfirm.com.
Flesh Law, the trial-tested, trial-ready attorneys.
Hey, Northern Colorado, the sisters from Community Auto here. Just letting you know we got your back. We have a happy family here at Community Auto and would love for you to be a part. We've come a long way since opening shop more than 20 years ago. Thanks, Dad. As Small Business of the Year 2015, featured in Parts and People and among the top shops in Colorado, we'd like to thank you for trusting us with your vehicle. With our new customer loyalty program, you can earn rewards dollars and free services like oil changes and transmission flushes. Like us a lot? Refer a friend, and we'll give you $50. It's that easy. Auto repair doesn't have to be painful. Actually, with us, it's pretty fun. We know that a happy car will get you far, so we'll fix and maintain yours with a smile. We're fun, fresh, and good at what we do. Call us today or visit us at communityautoinc.com. We'd love to meet you.
Things you should know. Your address, your phone number, your wife's birthday, where your keys are, and your credit score. What? You don't know what it is? Or are you just too afraid to say it out loud? For those of you that have pristine credit and are proud of it, good job. High five. I worked hard for that, but the rest of us might have slipped up a time or two and have bad credit, or maybe have even declared bankruptcy. Buying things like a car may be very difficult, if not impossible. But Mike Lather at Bankruptcy Autos is your friend that will get you back in the driver's seat. He'll handle all the paperwork for you and even arrange financing. For those of us that are worrying about how we will ever be able to purchase a car, Mike Lather with Bankruptcy Auto is the way to go. Give him a ring at 720-266-4941, 720-266-4941, or check out bankruptcyauto.com. Tell Mike that you heard about him on Drive Radio.
I want my mileage back. You lost your mileage with a dirty fuel system. Just a couple miles per gallon adds up to over $6 a tank, and that adds up to hundreds of dollars every year. In just one tank, you can clean your fuel system the professional way with BG44K. Service manager?
10 seconds, guys.
They use BG44K almost 3 to 1 over any other. Find your shop at bgfindashop.com. That's bgfindashop.com.
I got my mileage back. BG.
And this is Drive Radio. John Rick Coast, KLZ 560, heard on 95.3, 100.7 FM, as well as 1220 AM. And you can catch us on the TuneIn app or find us on the web by just going to drive-radio.com. You can stream us live right there. Ray Seidel from Four Seasons with us today. And I really appreciate Ray taking time out of his day. It's actually a very beautiful day outside.
Yeah, it's a pretty day.
Taking time, I appreciate it.
Get antsy for the 1 o'clock.
I know. It's coming. It's coming. All right. And Chrome Insurance, again, Paul Leuenberger, one of our great sponsors to Drive Radio. Anything you need insurance-wise, home, auto, life, he can handle all of it. Go to our website, drive-radio.com. Look at the homepage. He's right down there. Just click on Chrome, one of the top lines there. When you get down to the sponsor section, just click on it, call him, tell him what you need. And Paul's a great guy. I talked to him here just this past week. He'll save you money. He'll help you out. We'll get him on air here hopefully in the near future. And he's a guy that you really want to get connected with because he'll save you money when it comes to your home and auto insurance. So Freeman, welcome to Drive Radio. What's going on, sir?
Well, you were asking about people speeding with a vehicle.
Yes, sir.
I was never a fast driver, but I took my 55 Chevy station wagon and my family to Germany.
Ooh.
And my wife took her to the hospital. She was having a baby. And when she went in to have the baby, they made me leave that area of the hospital.
Okay.
And I was kind of frustrated. And, well, anyway, I went out the station wagon and down the Autobahn. I went right over 100. Just, I don't know, frustration because they wouldn't let me stay, and when the baby was born and everything was fine, but I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't a fast driver, but I just remember driving over 100, waiting for my baby to be born, and nothing happened,
But that was in Germany back in.
That was a pretty fast speed back then too.
For 55,
yeah, it was.
Beg your pardon?
So that was a pretty fast speed for a 55 in those days.
It was. It was. Well, it was over 100, but it wasn't. Well, you know, their cars there was just going all kinds of ways.
Right.
But just the frustration of making me leave that part of the hospital while my wife was having the baby. Well,
right. Interesting. That's what they did back in those days.
So that was just my little story. That's the fastest I think I've ever driven.
What were you in Germany for, Freeman?
I was a canine instructor.
Wow, cool.
I ended up having a dog show where all the little things that a dog could do, I had him, he was walking on his hind feet, and he was getting up on my back and sitting high on the back, and just all kinds of stuff like that. That the Germans really learned to love that little dog.
Really? That's interesting. I didn't know that. That's very cool. That's another great story, Freeman. Good for you.
Well, I tell you, sometime if you're interested, I might even send you a picture of when he was performing in his show.
I would like that very much if you did that. That would be awesome.
Because it ended up that was the only thing that he and I had to do is just around Germany putting on dog shows,
really?
Representing the Army.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
And incidentally, what made it better for me, I bought the dog on the German economy, trained him on my own time. You know, while other people were going to coffee calls and such as that, I trained him, and he was my own personal dog.
Oh, that's awesome. You know what? I would love a picture. I'm going to tell you what, Freeman. I'm going to put you back on hold, and Larry can get you our address where you can actually send us a picture. So, Larry, give him an address here at the station. You can just put detention John Rush. They'll make sure that I get it here. Just give him the address of the station here, and Freeman can send us a picture, and I'll scan that, and maybe we'll put it up on the website. That'd be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, that's
I look forward to that. So that was a good story, Freeman. I appreciate that. All right, lines are open. Anything you want to talk about? We got a couple of minutes left of this hour. Then we got one more hour left. 303-477-5600. Larry, who's on the phone, has a story of his top speed. Maybe we'll get that when we come back this last hour. What's yours, Ray? Any stories?
I don't really have any stories. Mine, probably, I was with a car, I mean, not really the top speed, but we were in South Dakota working construction, and my buddy had, I think it was 69 or 70 Chevelle.
Okay.
You know,
fast car.
Yep. You know, 396. Yep. And you know, we had to go from one town to the other, and you know, and we probably averaged, you know, over 100 miles an hour. Is, you know, that was one of those sitting in the back with a car full, and and probably partaking in things you shouldn't partake of.
Precisely.
You know, back in the day. But yeah, so that's probably the fastest that. Wow. And, you know, other than that, not on the streets. You know, I would, you know, did 137 on a, you know, in a petty, you know, experience car, but that's probably the fastest I've been. But yeah, I never was one for
high speeds.
For high speeds, it just, you know, other than I had an old thing, but it usually did it over a period of time. Where I had an old 6-cylinder 64 Fairlane, and from, you know, about 100 miles, you know, I'd go from college to home, see my girlfriend, my present day wife, Kathleen. You know, we'd make that in about an hour and 10 minutes or so, about 100 miles. So that was winding up.
Driving.
That was winding up forward.
Yeah, it was. That's for sure. That is a fact. All right. Anything you guys want to talk about? We're here. 303-477-5600. Questions on your car, questions on maintenance, how often to change oil. You name it, we've got answers for you. That's what we do every single week here on Drive Radio. Some of our other sponsors, please go to drive-radio.com. Check them out. Some of our new sponsors, I need to mention Tom Witzel, one of our new sponsors, RE/MAX Alliance Westminster. If you're thinking about moving, buying, selling, you need more room. Maybe you need more room for all your cars, or you need some shop space, whatever it might be. Tom is your guy. He can help you out. He's been in the industry for a very long time, since 1999. Give him a call on his cell phone, 303-808-2206. Visit him at tomwitzel.com. That's TOMWITZEL.com. And as I should say every week, and I don't do this as much as I should, thanks to all of our sponsors. It's because of them that we're able to even have Drive Radio each and every week. So, folks, if you enjoy Drive Radio, use our sponsors. Go in, tell them you hear them on Drive Radio. All of our member shops, anyone that we've got listed there, please use them. Tell them how you find out about them, and let them know you listen to Drive Radio. It means a lot to them and to me as well. With that, guys, let's do this. We've got another full hour of Drive Radio coming your way. We'll take a quick break. We'll get Larry off the phone here in a minute. We'll get some more calls answered. 303-477-5600. Hour number 3 coming your way right here on KLZ 560.
Still haven't had enough? Go to drive-radio.com. Email your questions and comments. Download previous programs and find lots of useful information, including your nearest Colorado Select Auto Care Center. That's drive-radio.com. Thanks for listening to Drive Radio, sponsored by the member shops of Colorado Select Auto Care Centers on KLZ 560.
Drive Radio is a presentation of Colorado Select Auto Care Centers. The independently owned and operated shops of Colorado Select hold each other accountable for the highest standards of technical expertise, honesty, and professionalism. They all understand that choosing a mechanic is risky business, so Colorado Select was created by this exclusive group of like-minded professionals who are dedicated to raising the level of consumer confidence in Colorado's auto repair industry. Schedule your next oil change at any of the Colorado Select Auto Care Centers heard on Drive Radio, and you'll immediately see the difference. For the complete list of all the member shops in the state, visit drive-radio.com.
John Rush during the afternoon rush, weekdays from 3 to 6 on KLZ 560.
A program where you'll learn something new every day. John Rush here on the next Rush to Reason. It's not the same thing regurgitated, because we bring something new and fresh on a daily basis. Dan Muir will be with us. He'll have traffic and weather updates, and of course we want you to be a part of our show. That's the next Rush to Reason, every weekday from 3 to 7 p.m. right here on KLZ 560.
You're listening to The Source in more ways than one. AM 560 KLZ Denver, KLZ HD Denver, and KLZ FM 100.7. Simulcasting on KLDC Denver and KLDC HD Denver, AM 1220, and KLDC FM 95.3. Online at 560thesource.com. USA Radio News with John DeMaster.
It seems that pre-vote polling got it wrong in Great Britain, and now the world is reacting to the results, which will have the country leaving the European Union. Here's USA Radio's Chris Barnes in Washington.
Presumptive Republican nominee Donald Trump says he thinks it's going to be a good thing, and he also thinks other EU countries are going to follow suit.
Where they want to take their borders back, they want to take their monetary back.
An analyst and Total Merchant Resources co-founder Val Pinkasov says he was puzzled by the consensus that the vote was going to go the other way.
I'm scratching my head thinking that the whole world's upset, but I guess the polls are accurate. And here we go, all of a sudden, a major slap in the face.
He says the Brexit vote results ended up wiping out about $2 trillion in stocks worldwide. For USA Radio News, I'm Chris Barnes.
And this is USA Radio News.
Hey, it's Rusty Humphreys, host of Trending Today USA, where we feature the biggest and the best and the brightest trending stories in the world. And one of the places I go first every single day is westernjournalism.com. Chris Agee is here. He's the managing editor of westernjournalism.com. What makes westernjournalism.com so special?
Well, Rusty, I think it is very special. We bring you the news as it actually happens. We're one of the places that you can come for the facts, and they're backed up by what's actually happening out there.
You know, a lot of websites, they deal in rumor and innuendo. You guys are really dealing in journalism, is that right?
Oh, absolutely. And there's no question that we're going to bring you pro-American news. I mean, we're going to bring you stuff that makes you proud of the freedoms that we have. And we back up the Constitution every step of the way, but that doesn't influence our reporting. Our reporting is the truth, is 100% accurate.
Make sure you check it out. One of the best websites the world, westernjournalism.com. That's westernjournalism.com.
KLZ done.
John Rush starring the Afternoon Rush, weekdays from 3 to 6 on KLZ 560.
Mighty fancy automobile. Oh, she's a real road king, all right. 0 to 60, 7.5. She'll do a quarter mile, 13.40. 390 horsepower. 500 foot-pounds of torque. Whatever that is. Performance and image is what it's all about.
There's no such thing as a stupid question. This is Drive Radio. All of your automotive questions are just one phone call away. 303-477-5600. Drive Radio is made possible by the member shops of Colorado Select Auto Care Centers. To find one near you, go to drive-radio.com. Now, Drive Radio on KLZ 560.
And this is Drive Radio. John Rush, your host, KLZ 560, heard on 95.3, 100.7 FM, as well as 1220 AM. Ray Seidel from Four Seasons is also with me today. We've today really talked a lot about speed. How fast have you ever driven? Why? And did you get a ticket? We've had some really good stories, by the way. So those of you that have shared with us, we appreciate it. And don't think your story isn't one that somebody else wouldn't want to listen to, because typically they want to listen. So Larry had a story. So we'll get his mic turned up here, Mindy. And Larry had a pretty good story that it might top everybody. So let's hear it. Go ahead, Larry.
Story for Dan, because Dan knows I used to work for Pepsi. When I was working for Pepsi, the owner bought a Testarossa.
Okay.
And he says, when Testarossa came into the plant, called me up, he said, let's go drive. So we get out east on 70, and he said, open it up, let's see how fast it'll go.
Okay.
So the speedometer is 220. So we went down State 70. We looked over at me, his face got a little white. And he said, how fast are we going? I said, 179. He says, back out of it. I said, but I still got more throttle. Back out of it. So it took me about 2 miles to slow it down.
Really?
55.
That was level 55 days.
Yeah, I didn't want to slam the brakes at that speed.
Right.
But those little white lines that you were talking about, they're picket fences.
Oh, yeah, they're just flying by.
Yeah. But 179 was pretty fast.
So I think so far Larry's got Larry's taking the cake today. Our very own Larry Unger so far has the top speed.
Did not get a ticket. Never even saw a cop. Of course, you couldn't see anything anyway.
Right.
But drove him back to the plant. He says, take my car down to the basement where his parking thing was. I don't think it ever left there.
Really?
I think it stayed there.
Never came out of there.
Never came out of there.
Amazing. That's pretty good. All right, calls coming in. Larry will get them queued up. 303-477-5600. 180 basically is what Larry was at.
Yeah, we got on that. When you have a speedometer that goes 220, that kind of tells you what the car can do. Wow.
Those were pretty fast cars back in the day, actually.
Man, that was flying.
They really were. So again, give us a call. 303-477-5600. Your top speed. Give us the story behind it. Did you get a ticket or not? And again, we are not advocating top speeds, not by a long shot. All the people that have called in and have suggested that if you really like driving fast, go to the drag strip and so on, or go to the roundy round track, or go out to high plains. Exactly. That's what you need to do.
We don't need any new stories. We want old stories.
Exactly. We want old stories. That's a matter of fact. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. All right, let me do this one more time here. We have got a new sponsor to Drive Radio, FastWax.com. And FastWax has literally everything that you would need to keep your car, the detail side of it, paint, interior, the care of the car, all handled. And for some of you out there that have, you live in an apartment, you don't have access to water, you're going out to a car show, there may not be water there, they have got a product that actually emulsifies the dirt, in other words, lifts it off the paint, you wipe it off, it leaves a wax film on top of that you then take a nice terry cloth towel to, or a microfiber towel, I should say. Use a terry cloth to start with, microfiber to follow up, and you're literally washing and waxing your car all at the same time. Pretty slick.
Yeah, that sounds.
And I've used it. So they actually sent me some samples because you guys know me. I don't recommend anything unless I try it first myself. So I'm not that I'm a skeptic, but there's a lot of folks out there that want to advertise on the radio, and I want to make sure the products actually work. Right. I did a little checking on them. They're a company that's been around for a while. They've got locations literally around the world. They sell the majority of their product online, but they do have it in a lot of retail centers now, so you'll see it. It's an interesting company. They've got a great product, fastwax.com. Anything you need, go there, buy it online. They'll ship it right there directly to you. And in the coming weeks, we'll have some Drive Radio specials. We'll have some giveaways, and maybe even get some of their engineers or their chemists, if you would, on air with us to talk about the product and how it works. But in the meantime, fastwax.com. Randy in Castle Rock, you're next. What's going on, sir?
Hey, hello, guys. I may have told you this morning my speeding ticket. It's not the biggest speed in the world, probably 90 plus, but going out to see the Dolphins and the Jets play in Florida, on the turnpike, nothing but alligators. And there's just a group of us taking turns passing each other. And as soon as it was my turn, boy, I gunned it at the 5.7 IROC. There goes that little Mustang the other way. The police just driving little Mustangs, the troopers. And probably doing 90 plus, but most embarrassing thing is, I look like the Riddler on Batman because I had all this green and orange stuff. Taking in the sun, looking like the Riddler, and, oh, man. But anyway, I have a transmission question for you. 07 Dodge Caliber, it's got that CVT. I had the fluid done, a little bit pricey, and they want to get it done 3 or 36, they said.
Okay.
I drive about 3,000 miles a year, so I'm wondering, considering that, if I can maybe push that to 5 years.
Oh, easily.
Maybe
Yes, you could easily do that. 5 or 6 years, even for the little bit that you were driving. Yes, you could.
Yeah, because that fluid's not subject to what the
No. In fact, Randy, you could push that to your 36,000 mile mark pretty easily and ignore the time for the little bit that you drive.
I mean, at 3,000 a year, that takes me 15 years.
Exactly. Yeah. You probably won't change it again now for, it's going to be a really long time. Let's just say that.
Okay, so don't worry about it for quite some time.
I would not. I think you'd be fine.
All right. Well, okay, you guys have a good weekend.
You're very welcome. Appreciate it, Randy. Thanks so much for calling in. Thanks for the story. Chuck, you're next on Drive Radio. What's going on, Chuck?
Hey, I've got a 2010 Dodge Ram 1500 with a 5.7 Hemi.
Okay.
With about 85,000 miles on it. I bought about it 6-8 months ago. And I've heard that these 5.7s pre-2012 will lock up the lifters and damage the cam. Is there anything I should be doing oil-wise or additive oil-wise that would reduce the possibility?
Using the correct oil and a full synthetic, and I own a couple of those trucks, and I've never had an issue.
Right.
You've never had an issue, okay.
No.
But we use full synthetic, use the proper weight, which I believe is 520 for those. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's a 520 that you have to use on that Hemi. It's either 520 or 530, I don't remember which, and you run a full synthetic, and I don't think you'll have any issues at all.
Yeah, it's a 520, and using Mobile One.
Okay.
Of course, it's already got it had the 75,000 miles on it before I got it.
Right.
So my high-speed story is I had a Honda Del Sol that I don't have anymore that I put a supercharger on and air intake and full flow exhaust, and I had it up to 120 on I-80 west of Missouri Valley before I chickened out.
Yeah, that's those. So I can't remember, how long did they make those cars?
93 to 97.
Okay, I was going to say, I knew it was a pretty short time frame. It's a pretty cool little car, actually.
Yeah, it's the good one to get is what's called the D motor, which has a twin cam, but I didn't have that. I had the D motor, which was a single cam.
Got it.
But it was a fun little car until I got so old that it's hard to get in and out of and all that stuff. And it's like, okay, you're an old man, get rid of it. So.
Got it. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so back to your Hemi real quick. Okay. Is it making any noise or anything at this point, or is everything working well?
It's working well. I mean, the Hemis make a Hemi freaking noise anyway, right?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, so. But my son's a mechanic in Texas, and he's run into 2 or 3 of them in the last couple of weeks, with 120,000 miles on it, and the roller lifter locked up and damaged the cam.
It would do that. One other thing you could do, since you don't know the history of the car, and one thing I probably would do, given the fact you haven't owned it the entire time. BG makes their MOA product, which might not be a bad idea to add into the engine. So you do your Mobil 1 oil change, put some MOA in it. I don't think it's going to hurt anything, and it might give you a little extra protection.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, well, thanks.
You're very welcome. You can pick that up at your local Napa store. All of us in the Colorado Select facilities have that MOA, also can sell it to you. So I would add a little bit of that to it. I don't think you're going to hurt anything with that, especially, Ray, not knowing the history of the vehicle. The MOA just gives you a little extra protection.
Right. And another thing you might want to do is actually the first few oil changes, change them early.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So, I mean, rather than going,
almost to flush in a way.
Yeah, so you might do it at 4,000 miles rather than going to 5.
That's a good point.
So you do it a little early, then you're flushing that out.
Dale, you're next. What's your speed story?
How you doing, John?
Good, sir.
When I got back from Vietnam, I bought a 58 Ford 2-door. And this thing was the biggest dog there was on wheels, up to about 45 miles an hour. And it was pretty good.
Okay.
We got into it with a Shelby 350 Mustang one night going out up for I-70. And I was reading 105 on the speedometer. And this Shelby could get his finger, his front bumper up to my door handle, and that was all the farther he could get it. And I'm thinking, boy, that's about a dog for a Shelby. And the lights looked like a picket fence, and we was going out I stationed down at Fort Carson. I was going down there, and I had a state trooper pull in behind me, and I slowed down. I was doing about 65 on the speedometer. He pulled me over. I stopped you. So you're doing 85, about 85 mile an hour. I said, that can't be. I saw you pull in there and I slowed it down. He said, well, I don't care what it is. I clocked you at 85 mile an hour. So I took it down to Denver Speedo about 2 weeks later, and they put it on the dyno. And at 85, or 65, it was actually doing 88, and as the speed got higher, the gap got wider. Yeah, no idea.
Got it. That's why the Shelby didn't seem so slow after all.
Yeah, but we had it reading 105, and like I said, how fast we were going, I have no idea.
Wow. Wow. Good story, Dale. Appreciate it very much. Thanks for calling in, man. Really appreciate it. Thanks for all your support. Lyle, we'll get you in real quick before we take our next break. We got lines open, 303-477-5600. Lyle, welcome.
Hey, John.
How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. So we're talking excessive speed, you might say, right? As the officer would say.
That's what an officer would say, yep.
Or exhibition of speed.
It could be that, too.
Yeah. So in high school, late 60s, had a classmate that had I can't remember the fourth road runner or a Super B, but he had the 440. He wasn't the Charger, and wasn't definitely the Daytona. And he and a friend went out on the interstate, and he got the car, and he thought he'd see what it would do. And he told me they got up, the speedometer was bouncing between 130 and 140.
Wow.
And the front end started to lift. And he kind of like, it's pucker time.
Yeah, it is.
And he starts to go for the brake, and the guy riding shotgun, he says, hold it, don't do it hard, so he just kind of got off the throttle quick and just kind of feathered the brake carefully.
Right.
Because at that point, you're just a few seconds away from
death.
Being a high-tech version of the Wright brothers.
That's
right?
exactly right.
And you see them on the high-speed racetracks, when they go airborne.
Yeah.
You're just in for the ride.
That's all you're doing. You better hang on at that point, and you're liable.
Yeah.
And you're liable in that car with no safety protection to not make it through that.
Yeah. And the worst mind, let's think, but don't, and the car was kind of drifting a little bit to one side or the other, and I can't remember which side, but the instinct, of course, is to steer the wheel.
Right.
And once those wheels set back down and they're off track, you're
in trouble.
So they controlled it, and so I asked him, I said, well, you can do it again? He said, nope. So I learned my lesson.
Good idea. Yeah, one brush of death is enough.
Yeah, that's enough to kill me. So,
Exactly.
So,
That's a good story.
they had more horsepower and the muscle cars.
Yes, they
than
did. Yes, they did.
Dynamics,
You got
the
that right.
Daytona with all the aerodynamics would have been a little bit
That's true.
gory,
True.
that model. But anyway, so that was enough to. He fortunately lived through that last night.
Wow. Good story, Lyle. Appreciate the phone call very much. Thanks for listening also. Rich in Denver, hang tight. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We got a quick timeout. We'll be right back. John Rush, Rayside L Drive Radio, KLZ 560.
Geno's with a J is your go-to auto service shop in Littleton for all your car care needs. Needing an oil change? Take advantage of Geno's premium $29.95 oil change and receive a free set of windshield wipers with the mention of this ad. See store for details. Brakes, alignments, or car maintenance. Geno's does it all. In business over 32 years, Geno's offers courtesy vehicles while your car is being serviced. They are conveniently located at Bowles and Flat Canyon in Littleton. Visit them online at GenosAutoservice.com. That's Geno's with a J.
You don't need an air-conditioned steering wheel or high-performance supercharger to use Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil. Now just $5.99 a quart at Napa. Mobil 1 offers premium protection for all cars, premium or not so premium. So give your ride Mobil 1 synthetic just $5.99 a quart, even if it doesn't have the latest technological stuff. That's Napa know-how. General States pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer expires 6/30/16.
When you've been on a fender bender or accident, you need to get your car repaired quickly by top-notch experts that know your car. Don't mess around with the cumbersome national auto body chains. We have no idea as to who is working on your car. Fender Collision Experts is a locally owned auto collision repair facility that will give you that personal touch you deserve. We'll help you in dealing with your insurance company and get you back on the road quickly without skimping on quality. Fender Collision Experts are Denver's experts in auto body repair. Call Fender Collision Experts today at 303-761-0955, 303-761-0955, or check them out at denvercollision.com. Be sure to tell them Drive Radio sent you.
At Lone Tree Veterinary Medical Center, we believe that all pets deserve to have a good life. And because we know that your pet will have many different needs throughout its life, we offer complete pet care services. Whether your furry friend needs a checkup, vaccinations, boarding, grooming, obedience training, we are here for your pet 7 days a week. At Lone Tree Veterinary Medical Center, we know that you want the very best for your pet, which is why you can count on us for the latest in technology and methods in everything we do. We are certified with the highest rankings by the American Animal Hospital Association and hold a gold star rating with the Better Business Bureau. You and your pet can visit us Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. We are located at 8681 East Lincoln Avenue in Lone Tree. Learn more about us by visiting our website at LoneTreeVet.com or give us a call at 303-708-8050. We believe that all pets deserve to have a good life.
When you work on your car, take a look around. You find yourself in a tiny garage, tripping over your tools, or in that grease spot under a carport at your apartment, or someplace even worse. You've busted your knuckles on the chassis too many times because you can't stop daydreaming about a place with a big garage where you can keep your ride, changing tools out of the elements. Call Tom Witzel at Remax Alliance. Tom is a Colorado native with 17 years experience in assisting his clients as they move on to the next stages of their lives. Tom Witzel and his team of real estate professionals are highly experienced with the business and emotional challenges involved in buying and selling real estate. In other words, Tom Witzel isn't in the house selling business. He's in the business of helping people. Call Tom Witzel at 303-808-2206. 303-808-2206 so he can do what he does best and get you into the house and the garage that you can be proud to call home.
At Arvada West Auto and Truck, we take the way your vehicle stops very seriously. Grinding, groaning, squeaking, fading brake pedal are all signs of worn-out brakes. Did you know there are over 50 steps to a perfect brake job? And our master technicians perform them all. Plus, we back it up with a Napa Peace of Mind warranty. So, if you're thinking brakes, think Napa and Arvada West Auto and Truck. 11752 West 64th Avenue. 5 seconds Sims. 303-422-1065.
All right, Drive Radio, John Rush, your host, Ray Seidel, sitting with me, KLZ 560. Give us a call. We'll get you right on here at 303-477-5600. Rich in Denver, you are next. Hey, Rich.
Hello, how you doing?
You're doing great. Thanks for calling.
That was good. Thank you. I got a 2000 BMW 323 CI convertible, and every time I turn on the key, the AC turns on automatic. How do you stop that from doing that? You know?
So the AC
is good. I don't know.
So the AC comes on every time you turn the key on?
Yeah, it's like automatically set, but how do I shut that off? You know?
On a 2000, I'm not positive. Does it have a push button AC where you turn it on and off, or how does it work?
Yeah, it does have one of those buttons, and I turn it off, but it don't like reset itself. It just automatically set to turn it on once you turn the key.
Got it. Now, can you turn it manually off once it comes on with the key, or does it just stay on?
Yeah, manually you can turn it off.
So maybe part of the way they made that car, it may be sensing heat. And how long have you owned it?
Just a month.
It may be. It may just automatically come on if it senses enough heat outside. The ambient temperature outside, it may automatically turn itself on. Maybe a feature the car has.
Oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. I was thinking about that too.
I'm not sure you can turn that off.
Yeah, I don't know if you can, because if you're cycling the key and it's defaulting to turn back on.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of the newer cars that I drive, which, by the way, anybody that wants to see our reviews, you can go to our website, drive-radio.com, go to all of our video reviews. But a lot of the new cars, Rich, that I'm driving are exactly that way. They'll turn the AC on automatically. Even if you've had it off, you'll get back in the car and it'll already be back on again.
All righty. Well, thank you very much.
You're very welcome, Rich.
Great day.
Appreciate it very much. Thanks for the phone call. Let's go to Murray and Parker. Welcome. What's going on?
Hey, well, Chevrolet is down, but the cost is up. Is that okay?
Here you go.
Okay, a couple of weeks ago, you had a gentleman called in with doing some brake work or something on an older vehicle, and he was under the impression that the hub and either the drum or the rotor was in one piece, and you said that you didn't think it was, and put some kind of penetrating oil or something on it to beat on it.
He was trying to get his. It was a Chrysler minivan. He was trying to get the rear drum off of it to do a brake job, and he couldn't get the drum off of the back. And we recommended he could use some penetrating oil. And on that particular case, I think he was going to end up having to get a torch and heat it up because everything was so rusted together.
Okay, I come up with a formula here a while ago on penetrating oil. Acetone and ATF fluid, 1-to-1, 50-50. It's the best thing I've ever run across.
Acetone and ATF?
ATF fluid.
And ATF 50-50.
Yep, 1-to-1, 50-50, however you want to say it. It's the best thing I have ever run across.
Really? So you just mix it up with a oil can and
shake it up?
Yep, it beats anything in an aerosol can. It beats anything I have ever
I'll try that.
used.
It's cheaper too, probably.
Oh, a whole bunch, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So is that how you do it? You just mix it up, put in a little squirt can, a little oil can, and do it that way?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll give that a whirl.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give that a whirl. Yeah, I'll try it out.
It does.
Okay,
It does
fine,
work.
thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Maria. I appreciate it. Have you tried it?
Yes. Yeah, I've tried it.
It works?
Yeah. It's one of those where you mainly our penetrating oils blaster, aerosol blaster.
Right.
So we use that, and we use heat and things like that. But yeah, I remember on the web where we were looking for something, it came up to where 50-50.
And it works.
And it works.
So what? It must just be a combination of those two chemicals together, or what?
Well, I think just the acetone dilutes down the lubricants in the ATF.
Interesting.
It'll go down. But yeah,
I'll try that.
We put it on things, especially like the Dodge trucks that have that lovely hub that you can't get off.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've soaked those.
I'll give that a whirl. We do. I mean, in my world with the fleet shop, we have tons of stuff that
It's just something that's you need to put on and let it sit.
Yeah.
And it's not one of those instant deals. You got to put it on a couple of times and let it penetrate.
Sounds good. Lines open 303-477-5600. Doug and Parker, you're next.
Well, I got a little story about the top speed.
Let's hear it.
I'm calling from the other side of the fence. I was the policeman on duty.
Oh, right on.
It's about 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm at 90th and Federal. I hear a car coming at a pretty good clip because nice warm summer evening. The sound travels rather well. Got time to fire up my speed gun. Throw it up there, and here comes a Porsche, 118 miles an hour.
Oh, my word.
Federal.
I'm driving 1972 Ford LTD 429 Interceptor is what I had for
got it.
unit of today. So the race is on. He keeps going the same speed. I'm trying to keep the taillights in view. I go across 104th on Federal, probably 120. And then I just kind of a downhill thing, put it all the way down, keeping the taillights in sight.
Right.
And pretty soon I look down because I notice the telephone poles are going by like the white lines used to, and the white lines look like a one solid white line. And 150. This is a certified speedometer. I know it's not accurate at that speed. It's good at 60. How far off is it? 150? I don't know. That's all the farther it register.
Wow.
But now we're going to slow down because there's a curve where Federal turns into 287.
Yes.
I'm kind of gaining on the Porsche. So we go around the corner and I nail it again, and he pulls over just about the Broomfield city limit.
Okay.
I walk up, he rolls down his window, and he sobers the judge, very polite. He goes, yeah, I know I was going way fast. But how fast you think you're going? And he goes, well, probably 120 when you saw me. And I said, yeah, close, 118. He goes, all right, well, he goes, I'll take my medicine, I guess. We'll just have to do what you got to do. And all his paperwork. Really nice guy. And I'm thinking, if I do what I'm supposed to do right here and now, he's going to jail, his car's going to jail, and things will be pretty ugly. Do I need to be that hard on the man? What are we going to do here? And I said, tell me, why did you want to go that fast? And he goes, you got to push. You hardly ever get a step on it. It's 3 a.m. There ain't a car in sight. He goes, beside me is 2 fields. There ain't nobody nowhere. And he goes, just seemed like I could step on it a little bit until there you were. Bottom line is, I didn't give him a ticket. I didn't do anything because the punishment, I thought under the circumstances, was be way worse than the violation.
Got it. Yeah, that's good on your part. Really good on your part. Are you still an officer now, Doug?
Well, I've been in 42 years, but I retired in 2011.
Well, thank you for your service. Appreciate that. 42 years. That's a long time. Good for you. Yeah, it is. That's a good story, by the way, on your side of the fence. Thanks for that, Doug. I really appreciate that.
Well,
you bet.
Tell the rest of them, slow down out there. I hate cleaning up the mess.
There you go. Amen, brother. I hear you there.
I've seen that all along.
Okay.
Appreciate it, Doug. Thanks so much. You got it. I appreciate that very much. Let's do this. Jeff in Arvada is next. Jeff, welcome.
Hi there, John. It's Jeff from Larry's.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, there's Napa has some stuff called Stable 22.
Okay.
It comes in a little tube. I think it's XR1 is the code, but computer companies use it for making connections on electrical connections.
Okay.
And you just paint it on, and it's supposed to be just like soldering.
Oh.
So if you got a connection issue, it's expensive stuff, but it really works well.
Okay.
For computers and
so you
stuff
basically,
like that.
you basically would paint all that on the terminals and plug everything together.
Yeah, and as soon as you plug it together, it's just like soldering the connection.
Wow. Okay.
They use it in the space industry, and
what's it called again, Jeff?
It's Stablet. I want to say Stablet R22 or Stablet 22. You can Google it, and I know Napa sells it. You got to get somebody that is willing to work for it, but it comes in a little cardboard tube. And it's got a little squeeze bottle, probably maybe 1 fluid ounce.
Right.
But as long as you keep the cap on it, it lasts forever. But it really works on connections.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's well, and not that I'd send everybody to Amazon, but you can buy it on Amazon for $54. You can buy it at Napa, I'm sure, for similar pricing. So you're right. It's in a tube. It's got little brushes, and you paint it on. Right. There you go.
That's what I was talking about.
There you go. That's the stuff you were saying.
For the computer, yes.
Okay.
It's sitting on top of my toolbox.
So you'd want to clean it off with like some rubbing alcohol or something first, and then paint that on.
Yeah. Or
No, well, you clean it off with clean it, but this stuff, I believe, some of it comes in a powder. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they use alcohol to
energize it.
Okay.
That's why that if you leave the cap off, it'll just go away.
Ah.
but we've been using it on our computers and stuff like that, connection, and we haven't had any issues whatsoever.
Okay, that's good to know. I did not know that. That's interesting. So yeah, you go. Learn something new every day on this show.
Yeah, so that's good stuff.
Well, you do, and that deal that Ray was talking about with the stream in the reservoir,
Yes.
no idea.
Yeah, I said it. We just did one here. In fact, we did a rack on a Chrysler yesterday, and the price of the reservoir is so inexpensive. We just put a new reservoir on every time we do a rack because we didn't know that screen is going to collect the debris. The way it cycles, it circulates more fluid than kind of what it's using, and the way they got that reservoir going.
Well, that's good information, Ray. Thanks.
Yep.
Yeah, no, appreciate it, Jeff. And it's called Stabilant. So Stabilant 22 is what it's called. I'm reading about it right now, even as we speak. And everybody I'm reading here says the stuff really, really works. So
I said it. You said you have an intermittent computer problem and you suspect the terminal.
You put that on it.
You even bend the terminals and all that, and you can't get it. You
put that on, you're done.
Put it on. And
now, can you take it apart once it's on?
Yes.
So it'll still come back apart.
Yeah, it's not soldering. It just
connection will still come apart.
Still comes apart. It just makes a really good connection.
Very cool.
Especially for, like you said, computers where you got the real low frequency or amperage or whatever's going through there.
Okay, makes total sense. Let's do this. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back. John Rush, Ray Seidel, Drive Radio, KLZ 560.
The new gasoline direct injection engines, also known as GDI, are the hottest new improvement to horsepower and fuel efficiency in this century. Service professionals agree that GDI's unique power requires unique GDI maintenance.
Yeah, it's only you and Ray.
GDI maintenance available in over 20,000 shops, and they back it up with a lifetime BG protection plan. Go to bgfindashop.com. That's bgfindashop.com.
Was it like, and even with Jeff on?
And you want it to last, remember 2 more letters.
I'm thinking maybe it could have been the caller, but if you had it with Jeff as well, let me check with Charlie. Hold on.
No, and it can be embarrassing. Colorado Select will help, even though you don't know the difference between a transfer case and a transmitter.
Why don't you do that? Try it on this break or during this thing, and if it is, just flag me, and then I'll get Charlie.
To maintain your car, then to repair it. Colorado Select is where you will find all of the resources you need to keep your car running like new. ColoradoSelect.com is the website that'll make any guy feel like a car guy.
Goop, gunk, sludge, whatever you want to call it. It's the stuff that makes your engine just plain dirty. Luckily, the active cleaning power of Pennzoil conventional motor oil, just $3.39 a quart at Napa, helps keep your engine clean. So pick up Pennzoil Conventional for $3.39 a quart at Napa and say goodbye to gunk. That's Napa know-how. General States pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer expires 6/30/16.
This is Red Merrill for Phoenix Weaponry. Phoenix Weaponry is a weapon manufacturer that services the firearm enthusiast. From precision ARs to suppressors, Phoenix Weaponry can make your dreams come true. Phoenix Weaponry is a full-service gun shop that offers gunsmithing, coating, and modifications to your own weapon. Phoenix Weaponry, family-owned and operated right here in Colorado. If you can dream it, Phoenix Weaponry can build it. Call today, 720-340-2496. Again, that's 720-340-2496. Or visit their website, phoenixweaponry.com. Mention Sports from Colorado and receive 10% off your custom-built weapon.
Life is full of enjoyable moments, such as getting a root canal, paying taxes, your kids playing their recorder, dinner with the in-laws, and buying a car. I'm just messing with you. Those things are absolutely horrible. But with the help of Mike Lather and JFR and Associates, they might actually make purchasing a new vehicle, well, enjoyable. Tell them what you're looking for, and they'll set out and find what fits your parameters, handle the negotiating, gather history reports, and even arrange financing. Before you know it, you're behind the wheel of your new car. Take hunting for a new vehicle off of your to-do list and give it to Mike Lather with JFR and Associates. Give him a ring at 720-266-4941, 720-266-4941. Tell Mike that you heard about him on Drive Radio and get back to enjoying your kids' wonderful impromptu recorder concert.
This is IC Automotive Professional Pam Oaks. It's time to take a 60-second break and make you a savvy car consumer. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Nissan is recalling more than 28,000 Infiniti Q50s and the hybrid version assembled between 2012 through 15. It appears that the electronic steering or direct adaptive steering is a software issue and needs to be reprogrammed. This issue is based on
Okay, and you know Scott's not in today, right? Okay.
direction and angle. Is your vehicle included? Go to safercar.gov.
10 seconds.
Out. Lesson learned. Want to learn more about your vehicle? Visit me at carcarefortheclueless.com, making you a savvy car consumer.
All right, this is John Rush, Rayside L, Drive Radio, KLZ 560, heard on 95.3, 100.7 FM, as well as 1220 AM. And real quick, Ascent Health Center, one of our new sponsors on Drive Radio. You've heard Dan Muir and I, especially during the week, talking about Dr. Julie and the diet that actually Scott Watley started. Dan was second, and then somehow I think they roped me into doing it. So I went down and talked to Dr. Julie this last week for about an hour and a half and was truly impressed with just her overall, how should I say this, knowledge when it comes to health and food and what you're putting in your body and how does that affect your diet and your weight and your overall wellness. And it's not just a diet when you go see her. She's going to get you on a health plan that'll just make you feel better, be more active, get your weight down to where you want it to be, and end that cycle of ups and downs. She'll get you on a weight plan where you stay there, and she'll tell you right now that the majority of her patients don't gain their weight back because she knows how to get them on the right track when it comes to the right foods, what works with your body type, what foods should you avoid. Every body type's a little bit different. Some people can eat anything they want. I'm not that guy. Okay, I am not. I wish I was, but I'm not. I have to really watch what I eat, and she will help you with that and get you on a healthy lifestyle. So Ascent Health Center, Dr. Julie, 303-343-8800. Call her today. Tell her that John Rush from Drive Radio sent you, and we really would appreciate it. Hey, we got lines open. Got a couple of segments left is all the show today, 303-477-5600. Now, we were asking earlier what... your biggest speeding, I shouldn't say speeding ticket, but how fast have you been? What's the fastest you've ever been? And did you get a ticket or not? We've even had some comments from some policemen, which I appreciate. And again, we're not advocating speed. Never have, never will. In fact, I'll just put this out there. One of the TV shows on air today that absolutely drives me crazy, I just cannot watch it, are the guys that do the drag racing on the street. Okay, what's the name? I can't
Street Outlaws.
Street Outlaws. That's it. Street Outlaws. I won't watch the show.
I don't watch it either.
Number one, because I don't believe in anything they're doing. It's all staged. If you think for a second they're really out doing that stuff illegally, they're not. I've read the behind the scenes stuff. They actually go into a town. The police will shut a section of the roadway down. It's somewhat. Even though it doesn't look like it's staged, trust me, it is staged 100%. Given the fact that it's all still staged, I'm still not an advocate of that because you're teaching young kids, go race on the streets. Yes. That thing should be pulled. Discovery should yank it. It shouldn't be on air. You might love the show. I don't care. I don't. Why? Because I think it advocates illegal behavior. Don't like it.
Yes.
Plain and simple.
Dangerous behavior.
Dangerous, illegal behavior. Yes. So enough said. I'll move on. But pet peeve I have, I think it's the dumbest show on TV, and I just don't ever watch it just because it drives me crazy. So you can call us with your story, your top speed story if you'd like. In the meantime, Ray and I were looking up something a moment ago, which I thought was interesting. Title of this article was, hang on, I got to go back and find it. Hang on here, Dan. Or Ray. Keep saying Dan because Dan's next to me. So,
used to, right?
Do you drive one of these 10 known death trap cars?
Death trap, yeah.
First car on the list, and I would have to agree with this one. Chevrolet Corvair. Not my favorite car. Never has been my favorite car.
No, that.
Now, here's another one which is interesting. The Porsche 911. Soon after it was first introduced, drivers of the 911 had trouble handling the car because the rear engine placement caused an imbalance. Other problems that popped up were a rear main seal leak, intermediate shaft bearing failure, cylinder liner cracks, engine casting issues, chain tensioner failures, cylinder head cracks, oil system problems, rod bolt failures. I can go on.
Really?
Even with all of that, the 911 continues to be a popular car in the eye of consumers.
Right.
I had no idea of all of those issues. Did you?
No, not at all.
The next one is the DeLorean DMC 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did that car go above 50?
I don't think so. I mean, we worked on one.
That's not going to be a car in the list today.
Well, when you start having plywood floorboards or whatever it was, you wonder.
It was not much of a car. Let's just say that. Ralph in Fort Collins, you're next.
Hello, Ralph. In Northwest Ohio, back in the 60s, like cars that would go really fast, it occurred to me that since we could go over 150 miles an hour, that we should get miles apart, get going as fast as we can, and pass each other at a combined speed of more than 300 miles an hour. And we would do it in the daylight or in the dark.
Good grief.
And it was amazing.
Wow. Yeah, it's amazing you're still alive.
Yeah. Yeah, the cars weren't very safe back then.
No, they weren't.
They were fast.
Wow. They were not. Wow, 150, both of you going, same direction. Yeah, opposite directions, passing one another. Yeah, that would be that would be amazing.
Yeah. Corvette with 2 4-barrels on it.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yep.
You bet. Everybody the thrill that would come us to ride with us.
Did you ever get caught?
No.
That's a good thing.
Never.
And you're still alive today, so that's a good thing too.
Nobody ever got hurt. Nobody ever wrecked.
Good for
Never
you.
hit a deer. Nothing.
Good for you, Ralph. That's a good story.
What a thrill.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can only imagine. Good story, Ralph. Thanks for calling in. Mike, you're next. What's going on, sir?
Hey guys, real quick, I wondered what context was the computer soldering. I missed kind of that segment where you said something about a reservoir and
well, that's two different fixes. One was for somebody with a power steering problem. The other one was a gentleman with an old Dodge Cummins truck. The ECM had got covered with power steering fluid, and he was having trouble with his connections on the ECM.
Okay.
They actually have a stable product that you put on the connections of those, like computers or any connections. We use it for lights, all kinds of stuff. That actually gives a really good connection, kind of like soldering. It's not actually soldering, but it makes that type of connection where you can take them apart, but you just get a really good connection. It's mainly for low voltage, computer type things, where you have to have that transfer without a lot of force. And I can give you more information on that, Mike. I have about sitting on my toolbox. I'll be glad to show you next time you're in.
It's called Starlink 22.
By the way, your comment on the street racing show couldn't be more right on. It's absolutely a hoax. It's all staged, and nobody would advocate it. And by the way, I think it's still in the books on the statutes, the legal statutes. But in Colorado, if you're caught racing, either not drag racing, but racing, street racing, road racing with somebody, they have the right to crush your car. And I think that, yes, I believe that is still on the books, that one of the things that they can do is confiscate your vehicle and have it destroyed.
Interesting. I did not.
Now, I'm not thinking at one time that was part of the statute.
Interesting. I'll look that up.
There.
I'll look that up.
I'd be curious too, because at one point in time that was pointed out, and I went, really? And so there goes that Porsche. Bye-bye. Anyway, great show.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it very much. Appreciate the phone call. Let's go to Steve, who's next. Steve, welcome. What's going on, sir?
I'm calling about my daughter's Nissan Xterra.
Okay.
It's a 03. And she drove down to Monument from Denver, no problem. But then once we started up to go to the ranch, she only got a block away and it stopped cold. She called me in tears.
Okay.
So Dad's got to fix her car.
Got it.
We were able to duplicate it after driving it for a long period of time, then turning it off. And then waiting, it seems like if you had it off for 5 minutes, it would run for 5 minutes. Same thing with 10 minutes. So I got to get this car fixed.
Fuel pressure, that'd be the first thing I would check.
Okay.
How many miles are on it?
Probably about 150.
Definitely. First thing I would check. I mean, the symptoms you're describing is exactly what a bad fuel pump would do.
Okay, so I just go ahead and replace the fuel pump?
No, inspect it first.
Really need to test it, yeah. because there can be electrical components that can be causing that too.
Exactly.
They're kind of heat related.
Exactly.
Mass airflow sensor, things like that.
Right.
So yeah, you need to do some testing before you start throwing parts at it.
Yeah. This day and age, as expensive as the parts are, and none of them are returnable. So last thing you want to do is you start poking parts in it. But I would venture to guess you're at least on that track, and Ray's correct. It could be electrical, it could be a relay, it could be any number of things, or the pump itself could just be bad. It's hard to say.
I gotta say, she's on the car for a long time, and I haven't had to step in forever. And but this one phone call, you don't want to hear your daughter
I hear you. Well, the other thing I will tell you, this is for everybody else listening, when you got 150K, if it's never had a fuel pump in it, I'd put one in it anyway. So that's not really throwing parts at things. It's just maintenance, especially if the car is not around, like in your case where family member has it, you're not always around it. At 150K, I'd probably put one on it.
Okay. Well, yeah, if I went into the store, it wasn't the whole pump assembly, but it was just the pump.
Do
it was
the
like
assembly.
$100.
Don't do just that. Do the assembly.
Do the assembly.
Yeah, do it right.
You know for a fact you're going to put that pump on there, put it back in there, and then the fuel gauge is going to quit working.
Something else will go bad.
So yeah,
that's right. Now do the whole module.
For the extra bucks or dollars, put it in, and then you don't have to pull that gas tank.
That's exactly right.
Gotcha.
All right.
Alrighty.
You bet.
We'll
Steve.
try it then.
All right, Dennis and Dan, hang tight. We got a quick break we got to take. We'll come right back, finish up the show. Don't go anywhere. Drive Radio coming right back. AM 560 KLZ.
And this is the 88 drive-in. Well, it's after Larry's.
Back. We have a happy family here at Community Auto and would love for you to be a part. We've come a long way since opening shop more than 20 years ago. Thanks, Dad. As Small Business of the Year 2015, featured in Parts and People and among the top shops in Colorado, we'd like to thank you for trusting us with your vehicle. With our new customer loyalty program, you can earn rewards dollars and free services like oil changes and transmission flushes. Like us a lot? Refer a friend, and we'll give you $50. It's that easy. Auto repair doesn't have to be painful. Actually, with us, it's pretty fun. We know that a happy car will get you far, so we'll fix and maintain yours with a smile. We're fun, fresh, and good at what we do. Call us today or visit us at communityautoinc.com. We'd love to meet you.
In a flash, from out of nowhere, your whole life can change forever. It happened so quickly, nobody saw it coming. Soon the medical bills will be arriving.
Will insurance cover your injuries? Does the other driver have assets? Should I sue?
It was his fault after all. After an accident, you need to call the law offices of Flesh Law. Flesh Law will never settle until you are fully compensated for your injuries.
Call 303-806-8886 for the Flesh Law Firm. 303-806-8886. Online, go to fleshlawfirm.com.
Flesh Law, the trial-tested, trial-ready attorneys.
Seatbelts, airbags, onboard radar, laser, and camera systems. The vehicle safety technology available in today's cars and trucks is impressive, but none of it will keep you safe if you're driving on worn-out brakes. Extreme Auto Repair of Parker is a brake repair specialist. There are many reasons for noisy brakes, and most of them are simple fixes, but there's always the chance that something dangerous is going on. Take your car to Extreme Auto Repair of Parker, and their ASE certified master techs will be happy to take a look, just to be on the safe side. Extreme Auto Repair is huge, with 20 service bays, so they always have room for you, especially if you tell them you're a KLZ listener. Extreme Auto Repair of Parker. Call ahead for even faster service, 303-841-1071. 303-841-1071. Extreme Auto Repair. Going to the extreme for 17 years.
Know-how! That power drill you bought in '96 is working about as awesome as a 20-year-old drill should. Meaning, not so awesome. So trade it in at Napa and get a $25 instant rebate toward a new DeWalt cordless drill kit. There's only one word to describe instantly getting $25 off a new DeWalt drill, and that word is awesome. That's Napa Know-How. Participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Trade-in rebate may vary. Offer expires 6/30/16.
Hot air should be coming from your radio, not your car's AC. Call Larry's Automotive and Transmission Repair to make sure your air conditioning is ready to take on the Colorado heat this summer. Larry's Automotive and Transmission is ATRA certified, and they have an A+ rating with the BBB. And as a registered Colorado Select member shop, they come highly recommended by John Rush. Tell the guys at Larry's that you heard this ad on KLZ, and they'll have their ASA certified master tech give you a complete AC checkup for only $78.87. Leave the hot air to the radio host like John Rush and keep your cool this election season with Larry's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Call Larry's Automotive and Transmission Repair to schedule your $78.87 KLZ listener special appointment right now. 303-427-2108. That's 303-427-2108.
Like cars, relationships require regular.
Yeah, Charlie said that it was sent to him like that, so he's going to try working on it. And you got 20 seconds until you're live on this commercial.
A well-deserved night out at the 88 Drive-In in Commerce City.
Admission includes all 3 features, and kids under 12 are free. The 88 Drive-In is open every night of the week.
Oh, how was your mic this time around?
At 7 p.m.
Okay, cool. All right, 5 seconds.
All those special relationships in your life by visiting the 88 Drive-In tonight.
And it's drive-in season, held over by popular demand Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the new movie, Central Intelligence with The Rock, and Neighbors 2. You can watch all 3 for $8 a person. Children under 12 are free. The box office opens at 6 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays, 7 p.m. Sunday through Thursday. While you're there, check out the pizza. They run a pizza special Monday through Thursday. Get 1 pizza and 2 16-ounce sodas, all for $12. And the pizzas are served to you fresh and hot right off of the oven. The 88 Drive-In is located at the corners of 88th Avenue and Rosemary Street in Commerce City. For more information, go to 88drivein.com. So, guys, with that, let's go right to the phones. Dennis, you're next. What's going on today, sir?
Hey, good afternoon, John. I just got to say on that commercial about Larry's Automotive and Air Conditioning, you may blow a little bit of hot air, but at least it doesn't have a fragrance to it.
Well, thank you for saying that.
Yeah, absolutely. Fast cars. The 1965 Oldsmobile Dynamic 88 455 Super Rocket. Let's see how fast it goes. Went up Hampton, going eastbound from about Santa Fe. Got it up to about 120. Wow. Came back downhill. They estimated, State Patrol figured with the skid marks, about 165 mile an hour. And then I came over the hill by University and hit this poor guy on his way to the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah, 165. Foam holes were like just solid. It was incredible. I'm way too fast. Shouldn't have been doing that kind of speed. But that's the fastest I've been and don't care to do it again.
Wow. So is the car pretty much done after that?
It went through. I hit him with the left front of my car right in the center of a Dodge Omni. Went spinning off through 13 blue spruces. Took them all out. Roots, whole 9 yards. The only thing I salvaged was the little thing out of the center of the steering wheel.
Wow. It's amazing you're still alive, Dennis.
Yeah.
There's a God. Anybody that argues that with me.
Wow. Okay, so what happened to the other car?
I put his bumper right behind the seat, sent him down Hampton, wedged him in the bushes and the trees in the center of the Meridian. He went on to the hospital to deliver a baby, and I walked away from the accident.
You're kidding me.
No, I hit so hard, the keys came out of the ignition, glasses off my face, screen, everything.
Wow.
13 blue spruces, had to climb out the window because there was roots and everything on the car.
Wow.
Every quarter panel was caved in, every wheel was caved in.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
I bent the steering column, holding on to it while the other hand was on the seat.
Unbelievable. Dennis, that takes the stories of the day right there. You get the prize.
I tell you what, it gives me faith in God. If there's not a God, people have died with a lot less.
Wow.
It really strengthened my faith, gentlemen.
Amazing, Dennis. That's amazing. Yeah. Thanks for the story. Glad you're still with us. That's an amazing story. All right, Dan, Captain Coke, you're next.
Hey, Captain Coke, that's right. Hey, John, okay, first of all, the diet.
Yes.
I'm down 20 pounds in 10 days.
20 and 10. That's pretty good, Dan.
That's amazing. That's just totally
Dr.
amazing.
Julie's, that's pretty amazing. She does a great job.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yep.
Okay, so my car theory is not nearly as good as Dennis, and praise God that Dennis came out of that one okay.
That's a fact.
I just remember that I had a '68 Cutlass convertible, and this was growing up in eastern Iowa, and we had this area that we called the quarter mile. It was exactly a quarter mile between two no passing zone signs.
Okay.
And so we would drag race each other along those no passing zone signs, and just see who could win in a quarter mile, right? Well, one time I decided, well, let's just keep this race going. And so I just left that thing on the floor, and the speedometer at that time went up to 120 miles an hour. And then I went past the turn signal sign after the 120.
Okay.
Well, then I realized that I'm on a T intersection.
Oh no.
And back then the brakes weren't the best,
Right.
on those kind of cars. And luckily I stopped it just before the ditch on the other side of the T intersection.
Oh my word.
And we were just like, we were dumb 16, 17 years old doing that kind of
That's
stuff.
a fact,
And of
yeah.
course, then again, what do? We turn around and go back and do it again.
Oh my word.
So, I never did learn a lesson. And then one time I was up, this is kind of a flying one, but this is kind of fun. I was up, I just had bought my Mooney, and I was up, Mooney's little 200 horsepower, 4-passenger airplane. We're up doing commercial maneuvers over a lake in northern Minnesota.
Okay.
And so it's wintertime, and I spot this guy on a snowmobile just flying across the lake. I mean, he's got to have that thing just wide open. So I put the Mooney in a dive, and I come down. Now, the red line on the Mooney was 190 miles an hour. That was all the faster you're supposed to go on the airspeed indicator. I came down in a dive, and went right. I put my wingtip right next to that guy on the snowmobile, so I'm probably about 50 feet off the lake. And I am doing about 205 miles an hour when I go by him.
Oh my word.
And that was a hoot.
Wow.
I still to this day wonder what that guy was thinking. Because then, of course, I do that. Because then again, I do like the victory thing as I go by him. I climb up and do a victory roll kind of thing and all that kind of stuff. So that was a hoot. Back in the day, you have a lot of fun with speed.
Yeah.
But you got to be careful.
It's getting tougher today. Yeah, good point. Hey, man, Dan, appreciate it. Thanks for calling. Gotta run. Hey, man, appreciate it.
Okay.
Take care. See you Monday. Take care. Have a good weekend. All right, with that, Sportsman of Colorado coming up next. They're going to talk about big game hunting, muzzle loading, archery, the draw process, all of that. Listen up. That's coming up next. Scott Watley and the crew, Sportsman of Colorado, Ray Seidel, Four Seasons. Thanks for joining us today.
Been a great show.
Been a blast. Enjoy having you. Larry Unger, other side of the glass. Thanks for all you do. Larry's Automotive and Transmission. Mindy, our producer, our engineer. Thanks so much. With that, guys, we're going to get out of here. I'll be back on Monday. Rush to Reason in the afternoons, 3 to 7 p.m. now in the afternoons. See you then. You guys have a great weekend. God bless, and be safe on those roads and don't speed. With that, we're out of here. Drive Radio, KLZ 560.
Still haven't had enough? Go to drive-radio.com. Email your questions and comments. Download previous programs and find lots of useful information, including your nearest Colorado Select Auto Care Center. That's drive-radio.com. Thanks for listening to Drive Radio, sponsored